former FedEx Cup champion. He's looking for another win. He's the veteran. Then you look at Kevin Kisner, who's playing some of the best golf in the world, other than a guy named Jordan Spieth. He's really emerging as a great player. And then you've got Zach Blair in his second year on the PGA Tour, looking for his first win. So 3 different players at 3 different positions in their career. It's going to be exciting.
When we went off the air on Saturday, you said the guys around 11 under par, 5 shots back, had a realistic chance at picking up the trophy at day's end. So you see Webb Simpson go birdie, birdie, birdie. He's now at 14 under par, just 2 shots back. Do you expect a charge from one of those guys like Webb, or do you expect the 3 guys in the final group to hold them off?
Well, I do think that the winner is going to come from the final group, but it's important that they don't watch each other and play match play, because somebody from behind them could slip in and steal it.
It's going to be a lot of fun. You ready?
Great fun.
Let's
I'm ready.
Get going here. The final round of the Sony Open in Hawaii. Can't wait for it. Frank Nobilo and Mark Rolfing will be calling holes for us, as always, this week. Kurt Byron and Jerry Foltz are down on the ground, and Steve Burkowski handling all the interviews for us when the players step off the golf course. Jerry Foltz, hello to you on the 3rd.
And hello to you guys as well. Nice birdie there for Fabian Gomez to get it to 13 under. Par birdie start.
Winner in Memphis in the 2014-15 season on the PGA Tour, Fabian Gomez.
And played well a week ago at Kapalua, but now Siwoo Kim has this remaining for par. The tee shot, which is nothing more than a layup shot in the right rough, had a clear angle, but a flyer to the back of the green, lagged it down to here, and plenty of work remaining.
20 years old, Peter. He is very impressive.
Yeah, we watched him hit that shot on 18 yesterday to make eagle, and what a perfect golf swing he possesses. This is big right here. That confidence builder.
Seemingly so calm, whether he's hitting a tee shot or trying to save par like he did right there at the 3rd. Let's send you up to the 4th now, and Mark Rolfing.
Good afternoon, Steve. You saw the name Webb Simpson just 2 shots behind. Here he is at the Biarritz hole for a birdie 2. Hole is playing long today. Hole location in the back. That will race on by. So a little bit of work for Webb Simpson, the almost semi-forgotten U.S. Open champion at the Olympic Club.
Back at the 3rd, this is Zach Blair, who's in the rough once again. A little bit squirrely off the tee as we send you to Kurt Byron for the first time.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. Yeah, he's in big trouble here. He hit the risky shot. He's looking up, and that's a risky shot. I don't think he can hit more than wedge over those palm trees, and I don't know if wedge can get all the way to the front of the green, which is 156 yards. The only other option was to pitch out left.
He gets real narrow at the front of that green, so he's got to be careful here.
But it went through it.
Oh,
Boy,
wow.
that is some shot.
It's a good shot there.
Risky, though, Peter. He got away with it.
And dribbles off the back right edge of the green. Now Kevin Kisner, so much confidence in his game. Kurt, you expect him to play well today?
Yeah, I expect attack mode out of him. That was just a pitching wedge, but he's leaning like it's out to the right. And he won't be thrilled with that one.
Kisner leads the field in fairways hit this week. He's averaging 12 per round. There's 14 possible, so that's really driving your ball, Kurt.
Yeah, he's really coming into his own, Peter. He's playing with a lot of confidence. And so is this guy right here, Brent Snedeker. He's hit every fairway so far today. Got a good angle here, 126, but boy, you can't make a mistake. That flagstick is tucked close to the hazard on the left side there. Gap wedge. Trying to draw it in there.
There's a beauty.
Nicely done there by Brandt. So advantage Snedeker there on the 3rd green. Back to 4 again.
Tricky little 4-footer for Webb Simpson for a par to stay at -14. Nicely done there.
Now Webb has started with 3 straight birdies, makes the nice par at 4. He's made the biggest move so far as it pertains to the first page of the leaderboard, but Brandt Snedeker has a birdie putt at the third to see if he can take a one-shot lead. We are back at the Sony Open in Hawaii. We move ahead in action later in the round. We are back with Matt Kuchar at the 8th, trying to get a birdie to get to 12 under par.
Shot 62 yesterday, Steve, so still on fire.
That's a 62, Peter, with 2 bogeys. He made 10 birdies yesterday and hasn't gotten off to that fast a start, but you never know. Plenty of holes left. How about Vijay Singh, 52 years of age, making the turn, playing both tees over the weekend here at the Sony Open in Hawaii.
I was watching him hit balls this morning on the range, and he was hitting shots, and then he was swinging a weighted club, and then back to wedges, and then weighted club again. All he's working on is his turn and his flexibility.
VJ hitting balls on the range?
Yeah, amazing. It's hard to imagine.
Shocker. To 7.
Where Siwoo Kim has a birdie putt.
Got his caddy Mark Caras in there taking a good look at it too. It's this green used to be really easy to read, Mark, until they redid it. Now I'm a little baffled. I don't see much in it. It is slightly downhill.
One of the changes with this 7th green, Jerry, is there's a little contour in it now. It was pretty much a dead flat green before.
Yeah, it had the 2 tiers and that was it.
This is actually a hole location that was almost not on the green a year ago. It had crept so far away from the front bunkers the green had.
It's not on by much today.
Just to tie the lead. Will it hang in there? No.
Just a little more speed and that's dead center.
Update.
Fine Webb Simpson, good tee shot. Flag is behind the bunker. It's not going to concern him too much. Try and get the distance right. Oh, that follow through. Reminds me of someone trying to draw the ball in. Drew it up pretty nicely. Some good golf going on there right now. Let's go up ahead to 7.
Jerry, Fabian Gomez is on a completely different line, but he might have gotten a sense of the pace. It slowed up just a little bit at the hole. That could help him here, actually.
Yeah, there's just a little flat area right at the hole and maybe just past as well. I see this one turning the other way, though. If anything, turning a little left.
Gomez to within 1. So many players, so close. Folks, don't go anywhere. That is the great thing about Waialae Country Club, too. You come to that last finishing stretch within a couple of shots. Anybody can win.
Beautiful look from high above. Great weather here. Final round of the Sony Open in Hawaii. Tight leaderboard. Where else would you rather be? At the Golf Channel family.
Thank you.
Love coming here to the Sony Open in Hawaii. We have some more special thanks to pass along. Ray Stosic, longtime tournament director here at the Sony Open in Hawaii. The golf course looks fantastic thanks to Dave Nakama and his crew, and Kevin Carl is the host PGA professional here at Waialae Country Club as we send you back out to the course now and the 7th.
3 twos in the first 3 rounds Zach Blair has made here. He's going to have some work to do to make another one.
Now back at 8, just to get the shot. It was dropped at 6 back. Certainly not shy with the short putter. But right now, 25 years old, seems to be an excellent fit for this golf course. Zach Blair leads the way.
Welcome back to the final round of the Sony Open in Hawaii. Kevin Kisner with a long birdie attempt at 7.
Yeah, from off of that upper tier, so the second half's a little quick going down the hill there.
That one had plenty of pace. Wow. That is a good 10 feet by. You talk about a streak. Take a look at this. Consecutive subpar rounds, active streaks on the PGA Tour. Maybe more surprising than number 1 is number 2, Jim Herman. They're 13 in a row. Now Zach Blair has made 3 consecutive 2s, 33 feet from another one.
Being a little more careful after seeing Kisner's putt.
Did he do it? Oh, you're kidding me. 8 strokes. He plays the 7th hole in this week. The only other player since 1983 in the Sony Open Hawaii to do that, KJ Choi, did it back in 2012. 8 strokes at number 7. Got himself a 2-shot lead. Kevin Kisner would actually drop a couple of shots to Blair if he doesn't make his long par attempt. And bring a smile. There it is. KJ Choi. He did it back in 2012. That is a pretty tough feat. Okay, now Snedeker.
Yeah, a chance to kind of get rolling again. Hasn't gotten much going early in this round.
Familiar little pop stroke. Will it hang in there? It did until the last minute. Thought he'd made it. What he made was a par. Over to number 8.
We're fine. Fabian Gomez.
He's waiting for the last player to play off the second tee from the players that teed off on the back 9. It's nearby, about 30 yards away. And what he's looking at is 146 into a little breeze to a relatively tucked location, but gettable. Ball will be landing softly into this breeze.
Didn't used to notice the second tee until they removed a lot of trees.
Good point. Should be an 8-iron. Swinging so confidently and so smoothly. This one just a little left.
Oh, distance is good, Jerry. Not close there. That's the second shot of Overton. So we go back to the 7th.
Occurred an important putt for Kisner at this stage.
He's made a couple of nice par saves so far today.
Oh, made another one. What a 2-putt. He knows it too. You can tell by the look on his face.
See we come.
139, Frank. Should be a 9-iron. Very smooth one at that. A little right and drifting.
Still be able to get the putter to that.
Over on the other side of the course, this is Brian Harman, who teed off at 10 for a birdie. Played alongside Harold Varner today. Harman, a man you would think that Waialae Country Club would fit his game nicely. But that little stretch he's on, 16, 17, and then an eagle at 18, birdie at the first hole, a good birdie. May not go in to win this tournament, but boy, you can rack up some FedEx Cup points and Ryder Cup points, and everybody's thinking about the Olympics in 2016. So much to play for every week on the PGA Tour. So a par for Harman.
All right, this is a moment ago at the 9th. This could be a pivotal hole when the lead group gets here. So many opportunities here. How about this eagle trap, Peter?
What can happen here? 2 par 5s at Waialae, the 9th and the 18th, and they play as par 4s, so you really got to think that maybe this is a par 68. Players have to factor that in before they tee off final round.
The leader on the 8th tee.
Back into the wind. 454. This one starts down the left side, just starting to drift back towards the fairway.
Got a great kick.
You heard him say, got a great kick.
You heard him say that.
Made a good pass at this, Peter.
Yeah, he sure did. Notice this. Feet are quiet here. He wiggles and jiggles until he takes the club back, makes a very nice turn into his backswing, gets the club a little bit farther back, almost a parallel on his toes, as we've become accustomed to with Zach. Not Not a big guy, but he makes a beautiful swing. He's got some speed, too.
Up ahead. Jeff Overton did tap in for his birdie to get back to 1 over for the day. Leave the green clear for Siwoo Kim.
Going with putter from a few feet off the green here, Frank. Took a look at the green between the ball and the edge of the green. He's comfortable that it's not going to have an adverse effect on this. Downhill slightly, should be turning a little left by Myrie, but not much.
Sure, it looks like the greens might be a touch quicker today.
They certainly, yeah, they've seen a lot of balls run past, or run out anyway, that wouldn't have, at least the first day. They have been getting progressively quicker, I assume. I think with the winds down, the superintendent staff have given the green light to make them a little quicker. Not quick enough for the last 3 putts in his case.
Well, so far, youth has been well served on the PGA Tour. Of course, Jordan Spieth winning last year. And when he won the John Deere Classic, he was not even 20 years of age. So if Siwoo Kim would go on and win this week, even though 20 would be an absolute milestone, it would still not be as young as Spieth, Floyd, or Mickelson. Still, it would be excellent company to be in. Now Gomez.
Slightly up the hills, caddies, I think, indicating the same thing that I saw, which is nothing. Especially being a little uphill, you can take whatever little break might be in it out. Get it a 1.5 foot by. Well, you don't want it to go by, do you?
No, you certainly don't. And Jerry, his iron play, I was in Memphis last year when he won, and it was absolutely stellar. You go back to the first 2 rounds and the last week at the Plantation Golf Course, he hit every green in regulation.
And his short game he's been known for from his early days.
Seems to have a ton of support here as well. So Blair might be on top at 17 under. Gomez, he's not going anywhere. Nipping at his heels.
We are back at the 9th. That is Fabian Gomez, fresh off that birdie at the 8th.
Brings a little in and from the right, Peter. He didn't watch that one too long. Right center.
Trying to thread the needle down there, and boy, that's perfect now. Look at that chase all the way down. Let's take a look at Fabian Gomez's swing here earlier from the first tee. Again, notice how stable his lower body is. Right knee does not move on his backswing. Good turn to the top, club parallel to the ground, and then watch how he plants on that left leg and releases all the way through. A lot of knowledge. Great instructors around the world.
All right, Siwoo Kim now. How about this golf swing, Jerry?
Peter's called it a perfect golf swing. That's high praise. I don't know what you can add to that. It's in such good positions all the way through. And you guys have talked about it already during the show and all week long, but the availability to technology that at a very young age to get yourself to put the club in those positions sure is an advantage. And Tiger Woods said he grew up learning golf the old-fashioned way. Now, if you just have YouTube, you can have a perfect swing. That's flirting with the right edge. A little draw on it, though, should be fine.
Teeing off way to the left there to try to straighten out that tee shot. Take a look at that way down that right side.
Well, you're away from home, you can watch live streaming on your mobile device or on PGATour.com. Watching golf when and where you want it. How about this? A little bit earlier at the 9th, Daisuke Kataoka making his PGA Tour debut this week on a sponsor's exemption. Here he is, bunkered at 9. Daisuke. Whoa! Yes, sir. Beautifully done there. All smiles.
Yeah, it's Kisner's third shot today.
Yeah, he hit a tree off the tee. It ricocheted 20 yards left into the hazard. That was his third shot, Frank, and it was a really good one to get it to there. An excellent shot to get it to there.
This boy's going to have to be careful, really, starting to give Zach Blair a little bit of a cushion.
Blair's in great shape here. He has 155 to get it over the bunker, 159 to the hole, back into this little bit of breeze. 7-iron.
Oh, that's so good. It gets there. It's pretty nice. Yeah.
It is nice, Zach. Up ahead to the par 5 ninth.
Webb Simpson, Frank, drove his ball in trouble, but he does have a birdie putt here at the par 5.
He got it back in play. It's actually just dropping a shot there, even though he has that left for his par.
Now Snedeker 2 back.
You have to start making something happen. This is a good opportunity here. He has pitching wedge from 128. Should be a full one.
Turn over.
Okay. Right shoulder just popping up a little. Signal going to the right. So the leader at the start of the day is 2 back. No, things might just flip around before the end of the day. Well, we're back for the 51st playing at the Sony Open, the famed Wailea Golf Course. Kevin Kisner has just pitched up. It's the green now clear for Snedeker. Outside chance for birdie here, Kurt.
He does. I mean, you don't want to say he's struggling with the putter. I mean, he came in today tied for the lead, so you know he's putted pretty decently all week, but to be honest, not up to his standards. He's hit the ball great. Time to make one and get this thing going.
Cold putter continues.
This man has not been cold, Frank. Fabian Gomez, second shot.
194 the hole. Looked like a smooth 4-iron on a really good line.
Oh, wow, that is bold going at that whole location, just over that bunker.
Fabian Gomez making a charge here. How about what he did in Memphis, winning by 4 shots at the FedEx St. Jude Classic? Struggled a bit after earning his first PGA Tour victory that week, but his game has improved steadily. And Fabian Gomez has another chance at victory here this week, but this man might have something to say about that.
Should turn a little to the left as it slows down.
Walked it in.
The bounce in the step. In his sophomore season. Right now, top of the pack. He actually played pretty good last year in his rookie year. A lot of the focus was on Daniel Berger because he got it all the way to the Tour Championship, but we know how good Justin Thomas is. A lot of talk about Tony Finau. Don't discount Zach Blair. 2-shot lead at the moment. As I was saying, Kisner trouble off the tee, and he'd pitch to here.
Boy, psychologically, a bogey would be a lot better for Kisner than a double. Needs to make this.
So he'll drop back to 13 under, 5 back.
Stand, please.
And a moment ago, this is Siwoo Kim, Jerry, of the 9th.
Yep, and very similar shot to Gomez. 187 is the distance. That was 5-iron, a little right of the hole.
bold taking on that whole location like Gomez. Remember that drive that Kim hit yesterday at 18, 339 yards, so he can move it.
Over at 10, this is Matt Kuchar trying to get to -13, which he does. You just have to love Waialae Country Club and what can happen so fast here. Forever on Friday, it looked like Matt Kuchar was going to miss the cut. What's he do? He shoots 62 on Saturday, and now all of a sudden he could win. A lot of birdie holes left still for Kuchar. He, of course, was not in the field last week and would love to be back in the Tournament of Champions next year.
There's the redone 9th hole. You see that bunker in the bottom right of your screen? That has been enlarged and brought further to the right into play.
You like that?
I do. I like that. I love to see design where the fairways actually run into the bunker. That's why they're called fairway bunkers. They should be sitting half in the fairway and half out into the rough. There's no reason to have that big strip of rough between the fairway and the bunkers. It's not why they're designed like that.
Pretty amazing that the one guy in this group who hasn't won a tournament is acting like the guy who's won 7 or 8, playing the best golf.
And this is going to be close to that bunker.
Just stayed out.
Oh, he's so
and they creeped in.
And it's a difficult 5th. Harold Varner teed off the 10th, made 8 birdies today. There's a spot of bother here, so it looks like he'll give one of those back. Coming to the 5th, 13 under. He's making a good move up that leaderboard. They had another cut last night, reduced the fields from 85 back to 74 players. So that's why we got both tees going again today.
Back at 9 now, Si-Woo Kim off the back part of this green for Eagle.
Peter, he's had a lot of good looks today, but almost every one has been on the side of the hole where you need to be defensive. This one, maybe not so much, but that's the one thing I noticed in Zach Blair yesterday. He might have left it a little further from the hole than other players, but he was always under it.
So that one misses on the left side. Should be able to tap that in for birdie. That gets Si-Woo Kim to 16 under par. That's 2 shots back of the leader, Zach Blair.
Pretty impressive performance by these young guys. Si-Woo Kim and Zach Blair, both looking for their first win on the PGA Tour.
All right, now Fabian Gomez has this putt, Jerry, to tie for the lead.
Yeah, and a front 929. Now, he's not part of the youth movement out here at 35 years old until Memphis last year. His career could have best been defined as that of a journeyman, but right now he's realizing that potential that he's always held. Not a dominant player in terms of ball striking, distance, or anything like that, but no real weaknesses when he's swinging well. Of course, we only see the players on TV when they are swinging well, typically, and he's having a good run right now.
Well, he's played here 3 times in the past, Jerry, and he really hasn't played that well. His best is a tie for 67, so he's found something to his liking this week right here at Waialae.
And so far today, he has been under the hole on most of, let's see, 3 of the 4 birdies thus far. This one, too, is not downhill at all, maybe just slightly uphill. Hit it right where he aimed it. Just aimed it wrong.
Just ran out of gas there and dove to the left, so Fabian is now only 1 shot back. 4 consecutive birdies for the champion from the FedEx St. Jude Classic a year ago. It is beautiful here. There is so much to do. Waikiki Beach, about 15 minutes away from here at Waialae Country Club. Not a bad spot out there.
Back at Waialae Country Club, final round of the Sony Open. Webb Simpson on the chase. That won't help. When Zach Blair, the leader, is at -18. And speaking of him, we go back to 9.
That is Zach Blair with that one-shot lead at 18 under par. Already 2 under today, and he's in the bunker left, Kurt.
Just trying to get it out and play with an 8-iron. Not a good lie here, and he's pulled this a little left.
Yeah, there's no lip to deal with there, but that ball settled down into a little depression in the sand. At least he's got a good angle there.
Let's get you back over to 10.
Fabian Gomez on the tee.
I've got it at 332 to the front, which is out of his reach, and on this line, no chance. That's left. Might be lucky to have a shot from there.
So that not a good one at all for Gomez. Will be in the rough. Whether there's a tree issue or not, we will find out. Siwoo Kim next now. A couple of pars and a birdie and 3 tries here for him.
If he gets one to chase, as he did back at 6 into the breeze, he hit at 325, so he could get it to the front edge. But it takes the absolute perfect line to do so, to just narrowly miss that front left bunker. He's got some power in the swing, Mark.
Generates a lot of club head speed. He's got it aimed up that right-hand side, looking to hit maybe a low draw, Jerry.
He plays that little gentle draw quite often. But it's not much. Maybe just a 2 or 3 yard draw, typically on a good one. We went after that, and that's overcooked. That's maybe further left than Gomez. Duck.
Oh, that's going to ricochet back to the right, perhaps.
Oh, yeah. Great angle as well.
That is a really good break there. That ball went backwards a little bit, but boy, it is sure in the clear now compared to where it was going to be.
And back at the 9th, a little bit left of that ball from Zach Blair, Kurt, is Brandt Snedeker in that same bunker.
He's going to try to take 5-iron and get it up over that lip, maybe out to the right with a hook. Boy, he caught a lot of ball. This is one heck of a shot from there.
Just trying to fit it between those bunkers, and he did a nice job of that. That's on the surface.
Just creeps on there. Long eagle try there for Brandt. What a play out of that bunker. Zach Blair not playing the 9th quite the way he envisioned when he was standing on the tee, but he does have a 3rd shot upcoming with that 1-shot lead here as he closes out the front 9 here on the final. We are back with the aforementioned leader of this Sony Open in Hawaii, hitting his 3rd, Zach Blair.
He's got a nice clean lie there and the angle, so plenty of green to work with.
Looks to me like he just caught that a little chunky. Kurt, it almost looked like the ball just came out dead. Let's see how it is. He got the ball back in his stance. Yeah, he just caught it a little bit too far behind the ball. Just trying to sweep it off that grass to get it to run. Just came out dead.
Now Brandt Snedeker's turn for eagle.
Important to get this down in 2 to start working his way back toward that lead. 3-putt this green yesterday.
Let's go over to 10.
Where Gomez has a 2nd shot from the left rough. Lie looks pretty good.
Lie is good, 73 yards. The 2 palm trees standing sentry in front of the left side of the green aren't the problem. It's the one just in front of him. To go around that, he's got to hit about 15 feet right of the hole.
Oh, he did it.
What a shot. How do you draw a long wedge?
Out of the rough. Well, the wind actually was coming in a direction that helped him a little bit, but still, that's remarkable. Curve a ball from that short a distance. All right, Kim with a tremendous ricochet off the palm tree.
Yeah, great angle. You would have thought the much easier shot. Be really fortunate to get as close as Gomez. 1 yard closer, 72 to the hole. Needs to spin. It does. Very good.
That's a beauty. have to take advantage of a good break when you get one like that, and Kim would appear like he's going to do it. We go back to 9.
And Zach Blair has this rather lengthy birdie putt here at 9.
Well, I think he's already sent a message to these other guys that have won tournaments that he's not backing off here on Sunday. But Peter, if he makes this, they had better come after him hard.
Yeah, he made that great save at the first hole when he hit such a shaky tee shot almost out of bounds to the right. And since then, he's been solid with the putter. This would really send that message, Kurt.
Not in yet with a 5. A little bit left on that one coming back. There's Kevin Kisner marking his ball and putting it back down on the green, and he ran that eagle putt by pretty hard. Kevin needs to get it going quickly here.
Yeah, 4 feet still left for birdie. The easiest hole on the golf course. Can't let this one slip by without making birdie.
Good bounce back for Kisner after that double back at 8.
Solid there.
Kevin Kisner's been in the final group 3 of the last 4 starts, so he knows what it feels like to be in this final group, be in contention.
Snedeker. Yeah, Snedeker picked up his 7th win at Pebble Beach last year, so he knows as well.
But the guy that is schooling them right now is the 2nd-year player out of Brigham Young University, Zach Blair.
Yeah, he started today with the best chance he's ever had to win a tournament. I think Fries.com last year, he started that final round 4 behind.
And the man who's got Blair's name on his back is Andy Martinez. We've talked about him, caddy for Johnny Miller and Tom Lehman. He's won so many tournaments with them, and he's been a calming influence on Zach Blair.
All right, so he was tied for the lead when he began the day. He makes the turn on this Sunday looking for his first ever PGA Tour win. And Zach Blair has a 1-shot lead. See how he handles the next couple of hours here at Waialae Country Club.
Oh, Steve, this just a moment ago at 17, Steve Stricker had not made a birdie all day. Until that, good news for all those Stricker fans out there. He said he's going to play a little bit more golf this year. World ranking slipped to 245th in the world, so not in the majors at the moment or the World Golf Championship events, but he will be playing.
Okay, over at 10 now. Gomez with a much needed, really good look at a birdie.
Yeah, I'm still shaking my head at how they got it that close. I just spoke to his caddy when they got up to the green and indicated a big draw. He shook his head yes. He said wind. Nonetheless, he got a good read from Jeff Overton, fellow competitor, who putted from the exact opposite side of the hole, and when it died, Jeff broke a little left. So this should just die a little right, depending on the speed.
This for a share. Did it. What a 3. So that'll send a little message back to Zach Blair, who was walking from the 9th green over to the 10th tee. 30 strokes. Gomez went out in and now backs it up with a birdie at 10. Kim will be next to try and match that birdie.
Not much more than a formality here.
Unorthodox way. Snap hook off the tee, ricochets off a palm tree and back into the fairway, results in a birdie.
Now back at 11. Important putt here for Webb Simpson. Actually, good friend Steve Flesh reminded me as that one misses that Webb had tried orthodox with a short putter. He switched back to the cross-handed, which is the same grip that he used when he had the belly putter.
Well, for those of you who are flipping a channel or two from football over to golf, golf. We are here at the Sony Open in Hawaii, the final round at Waialae Country Club. It's been an exciting day. The Broncos just beat the Steelers 23-16 to advance to the AFC Championship game. They will host the Patriots next Sunday. Carolina on the NFC side, a winner today. They will host Arizona next Sunday as we welcome you here to Hawaii and Mark Rolfing's home state.
Zach Blair gearing back. No driver for him at 10.
Down the left side. This should just catch the left side of the fairway, which is important. Back left hole location. You want to be able to control that wedge.
I think Blair going with something less than driver off this 10th tee is a smart play. Key for him is putting the ball in play. Notice a good base. No flex in that. No bend in that right knee at the top. Good turn through. Again, I like the way he clears his left hip, posts up on that left leg, and all the way to balance.
This view. 10T and the 11 green. Find one of the two leaders. So, see the back left hole location for 10. Gomez has the honor at 11.
Made a late switch from 5-iron to 4-iron. 8 steps behind it. Shouldn't be enough club to get it too far past it. A little breeze in. Started gusting a bit when he was standing over it, which made for him to want more club. That one didn't sound overly solid, but boy, it's on a great line.
So that'll get carried.
Solid enough.
Well, it's a formality. I think that's tapping to be 19 under. Especially when you consider that closing holes here, very well be advantage to be the group in front. Flag, Jerry, just 4 from the right.
Flag moving a little bit on the flag stick. It feels a lot stronger back of the tee. This 2 a 4-iron for Siwoo Kim. And I don't know what your guys' thoughts are. I do not fault Siwoo Kim for doing what he does with his caddy lining him up, because so many players do it. It's allowed in the rules, and I'm sure it couldn't be changed for 4 more years. But I do so look forward to the day, if it ever happens, that the RNA and USGA get together and decide that lining yourself up is an integral part of the game.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jerry. It's a bit like slow play. I mean, somebody's got to start the move.
Yep, perfect. Good tempo.
And we have to admit, you know, the professional game, whether it's ladies or men, sets the tone.
And so rare is the occasion, Frank, where the caddy pulls him off the shot. It's just a crutch. Most times it's just a, yep, looks great.
Left side of the tee. As he go at it.
He did. This is just right of the hole.
Just backing down. Of course, in years gone past, that would have been rough there. Back to 10.
And the second shot for Zach Blair. Good look from above there at what he is facing, just on the left-hand side of the fairway.
Yeah, good lie there too, Mark. 87 yards to the hole.
Knock it in. Yeah. Playing a little longer. What was the adrenaline? Everything is about the same. 2 yards up the hill, it says. How far is it? 86. Look to the front. It's 24.
A little bit of wind out of the right. He carries a 58 degree. Andy Martinez told me before the round, he said he hits that 58 degree about 90, maybe 95 if he has to push it. So this is a really good yardage for him. He should be able to just attack this back left corner.
Amazing how good these guys are. He said that short, huh? Yeah, it was probably about 6 feet short of being hole high. Fabian Gomez, Zach Blair, top the leaderboard. You think this isn't a global and diverse game? Look at those two. The one commonality, they are both really good. Back at Wildlife Country Club, do not count out Brandt Snedeker yet. This just happened at the 10th. His second shot, he trailed by 2. In fact, still does.
He had a great angle from kind of a fluffy lie over there.
He judged the fluffy lie beautifully, though. Look at this thing release. Just when he needed it most, he would leave himself about 3.5, 4 feet for a birdie. So we'll see if he can get that one in. In the meantime, this is now live. Zach Blair for his birdie. Everything is moving all the time, even when he hits the putt. Oh, it singes the right side. Going to be a par as we go to 11.
Just over the back, find Kim.
With putter from off the green again. Should inch a little right, not much. That hobbled just a bit in the fringe.
So that assures his par. Remember, Gomez a little over a foot away. Back to 10.
Most important putt of the day for Brandt Snedeker. Actually, the most important putt of the year so far, I believe.
Well, certainly pull him within 1 and maybe get a little confidence back, but he has to make this. Otherwise, his confidence is going the wrong direction.
That is a good one. Really important to convert on a shot like that. So he creeps closer. Eagle, birdie, birdie, birdie. Has played the hole 5 under par. He wonders whether or not he could get a tee time at number 10 tomorrow here at Wildlife.
Now Gomez, after the brilliant tee shot. So thumbs up, that's for sure. Poised to perhaps pick up his second title in less than 12 months. A lot of golf to be played. What a run, though.
The nearly forgotten player in this final threesome, Kevin Kisner, now for a birdie. Don't count him out yet. A lot can happen in the last 2 hours at Wildlife. Not a good front side, though, out in 36 for Kisner.
Now, Mark, this just a moment ago. Jamie Lovemark, now 27. Just been waiting for him to start to realize some of his talent. Shot 65 yesterday. And this just a towering iron shot straight at the flag at 17. And he knocked that in. And currently in a tie for 6th as he goes up the 18th.
Speaking of 18, there's Jimmy Walker, the 2-time defending champion. So hard to win a PGA Tour event, let alone defend it and then win it 3 straight years. Jimmy not going to do that, but he did fare well this week.
Just made too many bogeys today, too many bogeys all week, and he really just couldn't get anything going.
One of 4 players, Peter, to win at Wildlife Country Club 2 consecutive years. No one has ever won it in the history of the championship 3 straight years. Hubert Green, Corey Pavin, and Ernie Els, by the way, the others to go back-to-back. So Jimmy playing pretty well this week. Closes with a birdie to get to 12 under par, just not able to get back to the winner's circle. And now we're at the 11th hole.
Last group has found their way.
At 195 to the hole, back into this breeze. Snedeker has a 6-iron. I think he can go ahead and hit this hard.
That little burst has got him within 2.
This is out to the right. He was trying to turn it over. Flair going to miss the bunker.
The line's not horrible, but that is some sort of shot. Try and get that lands soft.
At the 12th, this is Siwoo Kim, who's playing out of turn here, Jerry.
Yeah, evidently Fabian Gomez had to take a break. Wow, is this hammered up the right side? But that would be Fabian's third break in 11 holes.
That is hammered right there, Jerry.
That was demolished.
Man. He's got such a nice tempo, but he's got some incredible speed when he gets into the hitting area.
Sounds like Fabian's drinking a lot of water, Jerry.
Could be. Reminds me of the guys I play with at home.
How about Fabian Gomez starting in October? He finished in the top 20 in Napa and also in Las Vegas. Then he won a PGA Tour Latin America event in his native Argentina. Then finished 6th last week at Kapalua. So it's been quite a run for Fabian. Had that dip after winning in Memphis, but really playing solid golf now.
That's a very good line as well. Almost identical to Siwoo Kim's line. Probably not going to run out as far, but it was solid.
A couple of aggressive plays off 12.
Now Blair back at 11.
Setting up on the right-hand side of this tee box. He likes to hit that little left-to-right shot. 5-iron. It's on a good line, Frank. Just left of it. Smart shot.
Sticks its heels in. So 6 birdies in a row have taken Fabian Gomez to the top of the bunch. Rather condensed though. Snedeker, Siwoo Kim at 17, sandwiched in between Zach Blair. Last day of the Aloha Swing for 2016.
Beautiful Waikiki Beach and also Waialae Country Club about 15 minutes away. Fabian Gomez has that one-shot lead over Zach Blair. Fabian, the hottest man on the golf course, and we are pleased to be joined now by the commissioner of the PGA Tour, Tim Finchem. We'll get to Fabian and we'll get to Siwoo Kim in a minute. But first, another great stretch here in Hawaii. The weather fabulous the last couple of weeks. How pleased are you with the start of the 2016 campaign during this wraparound season?
Well, we've always been happy with the start here in Hawaii, and I think this tournament's over 50 years old now. We have great sponsorship. Sony now over 18 years. And the players love coming here. I mean, what could be better? If you're sitting in Boston today watching the telecast, you would like to be in Hawaii, too.
Well, at least they're happy that their Patriots won yesterday, so they got to the AFC Championship game. Okay, what does it say about the leaderboard as we look at that board? The good young players. You have Zach Blair, who's an American, trying to get his first win. Siwoo Kim is 20 years of age from South Korea. And you have Fabian Gomez, who's leading from Argentina. What does it say about the world of golf as it pertains to the PGA Tour with that young, eclectic group on the board?
Well, I think we've watched over the last 5 or 6 years the sort of the youth movement. So many good young players coming up, American players, and it's the same internationally. It's certainly a generational change. I mean, these players have been in a different environment for the last 10 years with the Golf Channel, with the internet, being able to follow and learn in the way they do today. They're much better prepared. And I think it's going to continue. I think the players are so mature when they get to be 20, 21, and it doesn't matter whether they're from South Africa, China, or South America, or South Korea. I mean, it's incredible to see what's happening.
We just saw Zach Blair almost make another birdie there at the 11th. It lipped out, so he should be able to handle a par putt there upcoming. Now, the FedEx Cup is in its 10th year. What type of momentum do you think you have with not only the FedEx Cup, but with the young players winning, especially Jordan Spieth, the #1 player in the world, 22 years of age, becoming the youngest champion a year ago?
Well, you know, if you think about it, this is the 10th year of the FedEx Cup. A lot of the players we're talking about, this is all they know in terms of a format. They were watching it when they were 12, 13 years old when it got started, and it's really changed things, I think, and it's pulled the season together. It creates a lot more value for the players. And when you add to that the level of play from the younger players, it's really put us in a good stead in terms of our position in the United States and also globally. And so I can't tell you how excited we are about the next 20 years, given the caliber of the players, not just as players, but the way they understand giving back, the way they understand what the fans want, what the sponsors want. It's really a new era, and it's going to generate a lot of momentum globally. And with us going in the Olympics later this summer, it's just another element of what we're talking about internationally.
The game at the highest level, without a doubt, is very, very healthy. We appreciate the time. As always, go enjoy the rest of this final round. You look very good, by the way, in that Hawaiian shirt.
I like this shirt, and I like being in Hawaii. Thanks a lot for all your hard work this week.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us. Now we're at 11 once again with Brandt Snedeker.
Boy, he has one heck of a flop shot over the bunker to there. Great save.
Keeps the momentum alive. To 12 we go.
And this is Siwoo Kim right in the middle of the fairway. You see the two golf balls already on the green from his playing partners.
It's 70 yards.
They've got it surrounded there, Jerry. All right, up at 18. We talked about Jamie Lovemark a little bit earlier. One of the bright young players on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, it's taken him a little bit of time to get going, but the talent is there.
Not going to get on there?
Yeah, he's going to have a great looking eagle.
How about that? Earned his tour card this year through a strong performance in 2015 on the Web.com Tour. Another graduate from the Web.com Tour making it to the big stage. 16 now.
Been a disappointing weekend for Zach Johnson. Although, how can he be disappointed at -12? But didn't putt well yesterday. Has a chance there on the apron, but 16 or 17 feet for a birdie.
All right, Fabian Gomez is on the green at 12 with a birdie putt, trying to get to 20 under par. Zach Blair just missed that birdie at the 11th. Brandt Snedeker also in the mix. Zach Johnson, the Open champion. Matt Kuchar made a great run yesterday with a 62, stalled out a little bit, but he still is inside that top 10. Kevin Na has performed well this week. Jerry Kelly, as Mark Rolfing has stated a couple of times already this week, a very popular figure here. The winner of the Sony Open in Hawaii back in 2002, the first of his 3 career PGA Tour victories. Emiliano Grillo is a winner on the PGA Tour already during this wraparound season. Mark Leishman, who lost in a playoff along with Lou Oosthuizen at St. Andrews when Zach Johnson was able to hoist the claret jug that week. As we send you back now to Siwoo Kim, and he make it to 18 under par.
Once again, above the hole, has to be a little defensive. Dying left. That never had a prayer.
All right, back up at the tee at 12. What's Brandt going to do here, Kurt?
Well, hopefully keep the momentum going. What a great up and down back at 11, trying to fit this driver into the fairway. It really narrows down at around 300 yards.
Wow. Pretty aggressive today with these tee shots here at 12. Let's take a look from behind. Notice that index, or I should say the thumb on his right hand. Look how it's off the golf club right there. Then he regrips it when it's about halfway back. That is a unique style. Onto Brandt Snedeker. He's the only player in the world that does that. Gets the club back down into the slot beautifully. Coming down and through.
Now Zach Blair's turn.
Well, they talked before the round about strategy on each hole. Andy Martinez did, and this is 3-wood to try to keep it from running through the fairway into that bunker down on the left. It's about 300 yards downwind of that bunker. Looks awfully good.
Yep, right down the middle, maybe on the right half.
We're in the middle of the fairway there with Zach Blair's golf ball. Head to the left part of your screen, and the green here at 12. Fabian Gomez, can he make one more?
To get to 8 under par through 12 holes. Got a pretty good teach from Siwoo Kim's putting. Knows it's going to die left. I think it's still outside the hole, although this one has a little less slope to it. routine starting to change just a little bit, Peter.
Seven in a row. Yes. Fabian Gomez, the first to reach 20 under par. He is 8 under, as Jerry mentioned, through 12 holes. It's only a par 70 here at Waialae Country Club.
But that's a good point, Jerry. Keep an eye on that. Gomez's routine starting to change a little bit as he gets into this back nine.
One thing that isn't changing is how hot he's been. 7 straight birdies has given Fabian Gomez a 2-shot lead here on Sunday at Waialae. Back in the fairway with Zach Blair, who's now 2 shots back of Fabian Gomez.
He's going with a pitching wedge from 140 with this helping breeze, trying to muscle one in there.
Exactly what I didn't want. Soft bounce.
I think he thought that was pretty good. It's right at it. Looked like he was trying to bounce that in or something. Again, take a look at his head. It pops up just a little bit at impact, and what that does is that pulls his hands up in the air and raises the club a little bit, which can cause a few mishits from time to time.
Over 13, Fabian Gomez, Pro Tracer, is going to show us his shot shape here.
Yeah, a little right. It started.
Carry. Well, it's actually short. So all will depend on the lie there. Either way, he's going to have to hit some sort of a curve out of that rough.
And Kurt, you mentioned earlier, Brent Snedeker trying to keep that momentum plowing through here on the 12.
That was a huge save psychologically back there at 11. So now green light, 84 yards, a little lob wedge shot here going downwind. No trouble in front of this green.
No trouble with that shot either. You see the ball really close to the flagstick? That's Kevin Kisner. He's only 5 shots back, so he has a big birdie putt upcoming there at the 12th. Now Jamie Lovemark, remember that second shot at the 18th? How about an eagle to close out your tournament? Oh.
We were talking earlier about his talent. 2-time first-team All-American at USC. 27 years old now. He's really coming into his own.
Yeah, a pair of 65s on the weekend.
Up at 16, Zach Johnson for a birdie from the apron. Playing quite a bit of right-hand break. It's never going to break that much to the right. You should know that by now after all these years at Waialae. Champion of the Sony Open back in 2009 was Zach.
Tucked away in one of the corners of the golf course. That's the 12th green.
Look how far the green has crept in from these fairway bunkers you see on the left and right of these greens, and that is what the restoration is all about here, Mark.
Really is. You know, Seth Rayner had those bunkers right up against the green back in 1927, and as he mentioned, they've crept away, so Tom Doak has been retained by the club to do a restoration. It's in phase 1.
And that's what people have to understand. Bunkers don't shrink, but the mowing patterns on greens do. They never get bigger, they always get smaller, and it's always important to keep an eye on that.
There's a good look there. There's actually a new maintenance procedure in play here this week, and there was some pretty high rough between those greenside bunkers and the green before. It's now all closely mown. Consequently, you can putt the ball like Zach is right here.
Yeah, this is cross grain, 2 speeds here. It's going to be a little bumpy until it gets onto the green. So sometimes that's tough to make a judgment on how hard it comes out of the fringe. Pretty smooth.
Pretty good. Zach Blair from off the green gets to 19 under par.
This is pretty darn impressive. Putting it off this fringe here. Remember, he had his first top 10 on the PGA Tour last year right here. So he obviously likes the golf course, fits his style of play. He's not a bomber, puts the ball in the fairway. Taking a look, this rolled nicely through that fringe. he thought that was going to go in. That was kind of a belated fist pump there. Thank you very much.
Very, very impressive. Now Brandt Snedeker's turn.
Well, it sure appears that Zach Blair is not going to go away. So for a guy like Snedeker, he has to start making some putts and put some pressure on him.
This is about the time of day that you do not want to start trying too hard, and that may be what's going on with Snedeker.
What's going on with Fabian Gomez?
207 yards. I don't see any humanly possible way to get this ball on the green. Terrible, terrible lie. I think he's just chopping it up the fairway. Exactly what he's done.
So trouble for the leader at 13. He is disappointed and knows it was not a good tee shot.
Yeah, this is a smart play by Gomez. He's just going to put the ball back in play. You don't want to compound one mistake with another. You can't even see the ball. He's just trying to dig that thing out. Notice how he drags the handle through, keeps his hands ahead. That's to take the loft off the club and just send it along the ground as low as possible under those limbs.
At the 12th, kind of a must-make here for Kevin.
Yeah, he had it under the hole, though, so a real aggressive stroke there.
You never know how things will play out with the leaders, but Fabian in trouble up at 13. Kevin with 2 birdies in his last 3 holes is now only 4 shots back, but like we just saw and Mark just mentioned, Fabian Gomez has yet to hit his 3rd shot, and he's still in the fairway there at the 13th.
Okay, Siwoo Kim now. We've seen a couple players in this similar spot of the bunker.
195 yards. Could be done, but it has to be struck absolutely perfectly.
Going around the tree or over it, Jerry?
A little bit of both, around early and over the far ones.
Love this hole. This is my favorite hole at Waialae Country Club, the Dogleg Right. Plays as a par 5 for the members, par 4 this week, but so many players fail to get the ball far enough left off this tee. This bunker is no good, really.
Boy, I'd love it a lot more as a par 5.
I love it now that they've taken the trees out. You can see the ocean all the way down the hole.
That's way right.
So bunker to bunker, that will go deep into the bunker and put him a little bit on a down slope and not much green to work with. Trouble there. He knows it. There you can see from above, very little green. He'll be fortunate to get that one within 10 or 15 feet of the hole, I would think.
Well, Fabian Gomez is the leader here at Waialae Country Club. This man is at 18, Greg Owen. He was the runner-up to Fabian in 2015 when Gomez won the FedEx St. Jude Classic.
And persevering in his career, now 43 years old. And a great shot here. Good look at Eagle.
What a shot. I've seen some really good approaches to 18. When Zach and the rest of the guys on top of the leaderboard get there, a lot of things could play out there.
Zach Blair contemplating what he is going to do here at 13. Kevin Kisner will be on the tee first.
They're just waiting for that bunker to get cleaned up a little bit, and he'll be ready to go. And again, he likes to draw the ball, which means he's going to have to start it at that bunker and turn it over a little bit back into this breeze. If he turns it over too much, he could easily run through that left side.
Hasn't made a par yet on this hole this week. Love that swing.
I think he's going to like this tee shot too. Anything in the fairway on this hole is really well done.
And that bunker you see on the left of your screen, that is on the inside of this Dogleg Right par 4. And I think the temptation, Mark, is to try to hit that cut and try to cut off that corner, but it just doesn't make any sense. The bunker's no good.
Driver for Blair now. He seems to like that one.
I tell you, he's playing some golf right now. This is center cut.
Boy, fairway. Absolutely. Good time to hit that tee shot for Zach Blair. And Snedeker finally.
New driver here last week and this week.
Gotta be headed a little right.
Yeah. He was in there yesterday. He hit one heck of a shot to get it on the green.
Well, there's the bunker where Snedeker's ball just came to rest. And further up now, a third shot for Gomez.
89 yards into a gentle breeze. Clip the sand wedge nicely. And below the hole.
Oh, you don't see many spin back from there. Chance for a par. Take a look at Fabian Gomez, third shot at a par 4. Never a particularly good thing when you're leading, but he's still leading.
And we're back. 2009 champion, Zach Johnson. That was the 5th of his 12 wins. All the talk of the new clubs. He shot 64, 66 the first 2 rounds. And going pretty good. The best of the trio, Robert Garrigus and Kevin Na in that group.
This was earlier at 13, the third shot of Siwoo Kim.
Lengthy bunker shot, no green with which to work. The only way to get it close is to try and catch it really thinly and spin it, but that wasn't really a good option.
I thought maybe he could get it to within 15 feet, Peter, but could not do that. Let's take a look at a tight shot of the hit.
Yeah, again, the ball sitting cleanly. He just hit too far behind that. And that's the tough thing about bunkers. You've got to be really exacting with the strike. You want to hit right about 1 inch to 1.5 inches if you want to impart the proper spin and get the right distance.
I remember that really good second shot from Greg Owen at the 18th. Let's see if he can cash in the eagle putt now.
Yeah, very good. So Greg Owen finishes with an eagle at 18. 15 under par 6. How about those scores? Last 3, 65, 67, 64.
And how many times do we see one shot meaning such a huge thing when the FedEx Cup comes around at the end of the year? Just imagine how big that eagle putt could play out about 7 months from now. You never know.
Every shot counts.
Including this one. This is a big one. Par for Kim at 13.
Mark, but we see over red year in and year out. It looks like it has to break a ton from the left, but often doesn't.
Got to slow down. That is a huge mistake. The one thing you cannot afford to do is make a double at this point. Bogey's not going to kill you, but a double sure would. The other thing that hitting a putt like that does, Jerry, is it just creates stress, undue stress.
Lots of it. And the way Gomez is playing, though, Siwoo can't afford to make any mistakes. Now, Gomez obviously made a mistake here off the tee, but he made the smart decision on the second shot and then played a pretty wise third shot. Didn't risk hitting it past that hole. Granted, he's some 12 feet for par, but the easiest putt on the green, based on his rehearsal strokes, he's got it moving a little right. And he didn't hit his line.
Bogey for the leader. And C now is in a share of the lead with Zach Blair.
Patience. Yeah.
And that man is watching it all right there, Zach Blair.
Just a nice solid strike.
Now Kim for a bogey. Okay. So both Gomez and Kim with bogeys, and Zach Blair was watching it all from back in the fairway.
Left to right, and there's some hurt on it.
New look at 13 this year. Not so many trees down the right-hand side, and around behind the green. Really has opened the hole up. Hasn't made it any easier, though. The trees weren't in play.
Now he's got 215 yards. Just that light breeze into his face. If you're Zach Blair, you're tied for the lead. This is typically the hardest hole on the golf course. Just put this ball somewhere in the middle of the green. Make par. If you make a long putt for birdie, even better.
Do not miss right.
Dang, Andy. Cover that somehow.
Left centerish.
It's all right. It's not the greatest shot he's ever hit, but it's okay. Didn't miss it right. He'll have some work to do, but he's going to have pretty much work to do for the next hour or so. And maybe more.
And for Kisner, he has to go attack mode here. This is a 5-iron from 196. It's on a pretty good line just left of it.
It is just a little bit short. Wind has dropped significantly here in the late afternoon. And while I can see the flag there. Now Snedeker, tough spot here.
Almost the identical shot he hit yesterday when he hit 5-iron on the green. He has the same club today. Actually, he went to a 6 now because the wind has died. Up over the palm trees in front of him with a draw.
Go. Stay somehow in the air. Go!
Oh my. He couldn't possibly have gone in that bunker in the practice rounds and played from there, could he? But somehow he's got it dialed in. Chance for a 3. What a shot. Zach Blair over on the left apron. Grant Snedeker with a straight 15-footer up the hill when we come back to Waialae.
Oh, yet another dog leg left for Gomez.
Clubbing well back here.
There's only 2 par 4s that actually go the other way to Waialae.
Started down the right, staying there.
Well, the right miss off 14 is the place to put it if you're going to miss the fairway. Let's take a look on this downswing. Good rotation with his left hip. It comes up nicely on the follow through.
Back to 13.
Zach Blair from 50 feet or so, just off the apron.
Yeah, no problem with the apron this time. Just trying to get this down in 2.
This one picks up speed up at the hole. Nicely judged. Got a little bounce in his step now. He was moving slower early in the round, but boy, he is going fast now. Love it. Love to see it. Confident. As you've said, Kurt, he has hit some quality golf shots in a difficult situation. There's that little fidgety move with his feet. Everything always moving. He knows it's good right here. That's what I'm talking about. There's his wife watching. They might be nervous, but they're not showing it right now. That was a close one. Kevin Kisner next.
This would be a huge birdie for him to keep the momentum up and to birdie what is normally, like I said earlier, the hardest hole on the golf course. Walking early after that one, though. He didn't like it.
Yeah, if you can just somehow snag a couple more, Kurt, you know, there's an eagle to be made at 18.
17's a tough par 3.
Lot can happen. Lot can happen. Snedeker now. Boy, just like yesterday, drove the ball, Kurt, in the bunker. Looked like he was dead, and now all of a sudden a really good chance for a 3.
I looked at him. He was walking down the fairway. He walked by me, and I looked at him like, wow. And he goes, you know, I used to be a terrible fairway bunker player, but this little change in putting his hands forward at address has made a huge difference. 2 great shots yesterday and today.
Tendency here for the players is to miss this one on the right.
Just cannot make a putt.
Well, he's looking confused. He thought it was going to break left. That putt never breaks left.
Gomez is set. Flag on the left, Jerry.
Got a long ways back, 188 yards remaining to the hole. And even from the right side, it's still a somewhat tucked hole location. Don't know if he'll have taken it on. Likely a 6-iron with a little bit of breeze helping.
Frank, how much importance are you putting on this hole coming off that first bogey of the day on 13?
Steve, I think that the next couple, you cannot afford really to drop a shot here or the very next hole, because you are going to get short irons in your hand, providing you hit the fairway. So if he wants to get win number 2, and Blair did tap in for par back at 13.
Lost it in the sky. It was very solid contact. He gave up on it early.
Fortunately. So no real damage done. Right now, though, it'd be tough to pick a winning score. Now count. What a difference one bat bounce can make. His ball almost hit Gomez, who's running down the right side of the fairway. Just ricocheted right at the end and buried in the rough 180 yards. Don't think he can land this on the green and keep it there. Yeah, the rough, it's been a lottery all week how the ball's going to come out.
Thickest and longest it's been in years by only a half inch, but it makes a huge difference when it's Bermuda. Got more of that ball than I thought he was going to be able to get.
Could collide. Just misses all of Gomez.
Oh, we've been talking so much about his golf swing. Take a look at how still his head is into the backswing, and that's something everybody should do. That's a common denominator amongst all the great golfers in the world, all the great swingers. Look at the release with his right arm. Kind of reminds you a little of Jordan Spieth, how hard he turns through it and releases that right arm.
To 15.
And Matt Kuchar with a birdie putt.
He knew it right off the bat.
Just hasn't been Matt's week. One of the favorites coming in to Waialae Country Club. See Zach Johnson creeping up there onto the first page of the leaderboard. Fabian Gomez just bogeyed 13. Zach Blair just parred it, so 19 under is the number right now. The two-time defending champion Jimmy Walker birdied the last, shot 66 on this Sunday, but winning 3 in a row, not to be for Jimmy. Jerry Kelly, a winner here 14 years ago. Webb Simpson was hot early. Birdie, birdie, birdie start for the 2012 U.S. Open winner. Luke Donald continues to get his game in gear.
Emiliano Grillo got off to a great start. Slowed down on the backside.
From the same hometown of the co-leader Fabian Gomez back in Argentina. Both of them will be representing the country of Argentina in the Olympics if it was played right now, but there's a lot of time yet before we head to Rio this summer.
Yeah, decision to be made here for Kisner. 3 back. Hole starting to run out.
He's got hybrid out, but they're still waiting for the gallery to clear the fairway. Somebody down there forgot that they were on the tee back here already, so gallery's still crossing the fairway.
This hole's not overly long. That 18-degree hybrid of his, he flies at 235 yards.
That bunker on the left, Frank, that's about 278. There's just a touch of helping right to left breeze.
Down the middle on the green.
Sets up well for Kisner. He likes to draw the ball anyway. He can start this hybrid down the right side and turn it over.
So when you think coming in, you need a draw here at 14. 15, more of a strategic tee shot. Definitely need a draw at 16. And you're going to need it at the home hole.
I would like to be in the clubhouse, Frank, at 21 under par, which means Kevin Kisner needs 5 birdies or 4 birdies, let's say, going in. So, I like this play. It's probably the safest play, but he still, I think, has to be looking at 20 or maybe 21 under.
Russell Henley birdied the last 5 when he won.
If you're going to make that many birdies, you have to start by putting the ball in the fairway, and that's exactly what he's done here. You have to be able to control that ball into the greens to get it close.
Finished in a divot yesterday. Just missed it today. Now, I would say this looks like the swing of Tim Clark on the body of Zach Blair.
Just a hair right of that. Yeah. Just a hair. It's helping on the right shot.
Put Tim Clark and Zach Blair on the range together. Hard to tell the difference.
This is 3 wood for Blair. Not as long as Kisner.
Shot.
Pretty good. Held that little cut up against the breeze. Well done.
With the exception of that opening tee shot, he's driven it well. That's the corner of the dog leg. Bucket cuts in. Up ahead, it should be Gomez to putt first.
It will be. Siwoo Kim has already played his third, pitched it from just a few feet off the green for the first time today, but had to because it was an up-grade kind of crabgrass lie. So Fabian didn't get that good of a teach, but a little bit as to how it reacted as it slowed down near the hole. Kim ran it a few feet by, has some work remaining. This one slightly uphill and turning just ever so slightly left for the most part. A putt of this length, it'll look like a lot.
7 birdie stretch from 6-3 to 12. So that's a good 6 feet left, and we're fresh off the bogey at 13. Just maybe he's starting to think about what's at stake. It's a little more than a 2-horse race right now, though. Now we're back. Gomez a little over 6 feet here to stay tied for the lead.
A little uphill from here.
Kept that up. Defied gravity. And then it's going to be back-to-back bogeys. Pendulum now swings very much in the favor of Zach Blair.
From one Zach to another. This one's got an H on it and a claret jug and a green jacket.
So much promise after the first 2 rounds yesterday. Did not go as planned, and that was the reason. He just didn't make the putts that we normally see Zach Johnson hole.
He was hovering around the leaderboard all the way until the 9th hole in the 3rd round, but then couldn't really get it going. Ended up with that even par 70. Too far away to make a run on this Sunday.
Steve back at 14. Kim had missed the green to the right, pitch to here. 20-year-old is not quite out of it yet. The advantage goes to Zach Blair. His second, now at 14.
Well, he's got a good lie in the fairway, 162 to the hole, Frank, but from this angle, if he takes a direct line, he still has to deal with that bunker. That's about 155 to carry that bunker if he does take a direct aim at the flagstick. It's an 8-iron. Left of it.
Right in the corner of the bunker. Could be a very awkward stance. Same mistakes are starting to give other people opportunities.
And 161 for Kisner, so feeling like there might be a chance here. Knock one in there close and get one to go in.
Keep swinging.
He's trying to bring it in from right to left.
He's trying, but it didn't turn over. He's done that 3 or 4 times today. That little draw of his has not cooperated.
You would think it's the same type of shot for Snedeker.
Yeah, but from this angle on the right side of the fairway, he doesn't have to deal with that bunker. He likes to draw the ball in this situation, but doesn't really have to worry about the bunker. 154 yards to the hole.
He likes it.
Keep hooking.
Should.
And a few more minutes. Very well might be tied for the lead.
Fabian Gomez had the lead all to himself a little while ago, but has gone bogey now.
Yeah, and that's way right coming off the 12th green. I thought we might see a 59. Right now, he is locked in a battle against his nerves.
Yeah, things are not going the correct way for Fabian Gomez. Everything is just fine for Zach Blair, who has that one-shot lead on 14.
It's Andy Martinez. He's getting some good players over the years. He's trying to get Zach Blair into the clubhouse. And good, that did not find the bunker.
It didn't. It's in the long grass right on top of that bunker, but this is actually a really good break. That's a very deep bunker down there. He would have been coming out of there with no green to work with and downwind. This one, he can kind of just chop it out onto the fringe. There's a lot of fringe there. He can chop it out to there and kind of let it trickle up to the hole. It's not an easy shot, but better than being in the bunker.
Look at the great up and down he made on the first hole. Just came out on the sideways. It wasn't great contact. So, a chance for a two-shot swing for both Kisner and Snedeker. And the last thing you want to do is give your fellow competitors an opportunity or hope. This is where you've got to think the way in which Kisner played all through 2016. 4 times a runner-up. When events went the other way, and he now has confidence.
He's aimed out to the right a little bit, trying to play some right to left break down the hill. Too much speed.
Up at 15, the second shot upcoming for Fabian Gomez, Jerry.
Yeah, not a very good lie at all. 186 yards to the hole, a hole that he has no business aiming at. If he gets it on the front left part of the green, it would be fantastic. That's his front center of the green, and a really, really good shot.
Oh, that is a terrific shot.
Out of that lie, Peter, you couldn't have asked for anything better.
And that's exactly what Gomez needed at this point. And you got to think that both Snedeker and Kevin Kisner are thinking, wow, these guys are inexperienced at the top. They may come back to us. So they've got to stay patient. That was well played right there, just trying to hit a low blast out of that heavy stuff and run it on the green.
Snedeker has not putted yet. So Blair first for his part.
It's kind of that second shot in here was kind of the first sign of nerves I've seen since the 5th hole, Frank. So that was a really poor second shot and not a smart one to go left. This would be huge though if he could get this par putt to go in.
The water is to his right. Takes it away from the hole. So both Gomez and Blair bogeyed 14. So Snedeker now will have a putt to tie. Snedeker was 5 back playing the 9th hole.
Well, he had a good chance to see Kisner's ball, even though it had too much speed on it going past the hole, but I think he knows it doesn't break too much to the left.
He's back. Oh, how things have changed. So Gomez 18, Blair 18, now Snedeker 18. So isn't it? To stay 2 back.
Yeah, he can't afford any mistakes right now. He's been solid all day from this length.
Rattles it in. Still going to need somehow 3 or more birdies over those closing holes.
So Brandt Snedeker now tied for the lead here in the Sony Open in Hawaii. His last win on the PGA Tour, his 7th overall, came almost a year ago out on the Monterey Peninsula, where he just had a blast out there for 4 days playing those 3 different golf courses. And Brandt Snedeker, most wins since 2011. Look at the company he is keeping with all those major champions. Brandt, of course, has come close to winning a couple of majors himself.
And that included the 2012 FedEx Cup as well. So Brandt Snedeker is very familiar with that top spot. That's what he's looking for as he hits off the 15th tee.
And as we said at the start of the whole show, Peter, the experience that Brandt Snedeker has right now just puts him in a great advantage over the other players who he's tied with.
He's going with the long iron here. I think this is a 3-iron. Just looking for something around 230 out there, Peter, somewhere right at the corner of the dog leg, maybe right center.
Yeah, and I've always felt that playing further back off this tee is smarter than trying to sneak it up that extra 5 or 10 yards, because you can be stymied by the big tree on the far corner. So I think it's probably something low, turning from right to left.
Wow, this is really good. This is going to be right in the middle of the fairway.
Yep, that's perfect. And Steve, you're talking about experience. He's been there. He's won 7 times on tour, and he's won on some great golf courses. Won at East Lake. He's won at Pebble Beach twice. So he knows what he needs to do. He needs to hit the fairways coming in. He's got 2 par 4s, a par 5, and a par 3. He just needs to make a couple of birdies to the house.
Kisner's turn now.
Yeah, also with a 3-iron. A little more out to the right, but I think it's going to be fine. Turning over a little bit.
Yeah, well, just fine there, right in the middle of the fairway. Now, Zach Blair, Peter, you were in this situation so many times. How do you slow yourself down with 4 holes to play when you're out there trying to get it done for the first time?
It's almost impossible to try to slow yourself down. That's why having Andy Martinez on his bag has been such a great addition to the start of Zach's career. He's fidgety. He jumps around a lot, much like Snedeker. But the most important thing is just focus on the strategy. Put the ball in the fairway. Put the ball in the green. Give yourself a putt, Kurt.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and he did it again there, so good drive.
All right, how about Jerry Kelly? 14 years ago, a winner here at Waialae Country Club, closing out this 2016 version. He'll turn 50 years of age in November. Just in time to play the PGA Tour Champions in 2017. And Jerry, as always,
I don't think he thought he made that putt right there.
I was going to say the Jerry gyrations are always out on full display. What a popular figure he is here.
Yeah.
At Waialae Country Club. Everybody loves him out here in Hawaii. Gorgeous look from high above.
Sad to see this week come to an end. It's been so much fun. So enjoyable. The hospitality here all week. Fantastic.
How about the weather? Last couple weeks. Kapalua. Now here. So Fabian Gomez. It's a big spot for Fabian. That was a great second shot, and perhaps this will be the catalyst to maybe calm his nerves a little bit and put him back on track to where he was about 20 minutes ago.
Well, Jerry, he's in his 5th year on the PGA Tour. He's 37 years old and got his first win last year. So he's really coming into his own. He's really persevered. He's really hung in there. This is a huge putt.
Yeah, but he's no stranger to nerves. We saw him really have a hard time with the tournament in his grasp in Puerto Rico earlier last year. This one turning right.
a chance.
He works with Mariano Bartolome down at Doral. Been with him for a couple of years now, doing some great work together.
So Fabian's momentum has been halted quite a bit. He had a 2-shot lead, but now he's tied with 2 others. Moment ago with the 15th. Big par putt here for Fabian Gomez.
That's more to calm his nerves than anything, because as Jerry pointed out back on the 12th green, even though he made birdie back there, Jerry pointed out that he was changing his routine a little bit, and that is a sign of a little being uncomfortable in the heat.
Here's the pre-shot routine of Zach Blair.
Well, he's got 159, a little wind in his face. He's got 7 iron set up to hit a little cut into that back right hole location. To the left a little bit, but not too bad.
They missed it on the right side. You can see he was not thrilled with it, but he's got the putter in his hand. Long walk with the putter.
From Blair to Kisner.
Boy, is his patience being tested right now. His ball is in the fairway, but in a divot. 156 yards to that hole. Now, it's not a hard shot to get on the green, but this makes it a little more dicey to go at that flagstick out of this divot. On a good line if it gets back there. What a shot out of there.
It got back there and it got close. Kevin Kisner
just 2 back. And then he has that to get to 17 and close the gap, and Kisner's in the middle of this thing.
Now Brent Snedeker.
.142 he has to the hole. He's got pitching wedge out, just a light breeze in his face, so this is going to be a full bore pitching wedge.
Stay right. Yeah.
Hold it.
Yeah, didn't like it. And you could hear it. So Brent Snedeker. A little bit wide left with a wedge. When we come back, can Kevin Kisner close the gap with a short birdie putt at 15? At 15, this is Brent Snedeker. Long birdie putt.
A little uphill. Should be a little bit of left to right in there. Did he hit it?
It goes in as the outright leader. Just missed. And he knew it was close coming off of the blade.
Boy, after such a poor start, 1 over par through 8 holes, he thought he was maybe drifting too far away, but here he finds himself tied for the lead, and that could have brought him a 1-shot lead temporarily.
Now Zach Blair a little bit closer than Brant.
Not taking a lot of time, because Snedeker's putt was a definite help for him. Seeing the line, got right in here and made a quick decision.
We've been talking about Zach Blair's father a lot over the last 4 days. Played the 1981 U.S. Open. There's a little fist pump from Jimmy as he's walking up after that really nice approach shot, rooting his son on, trying to get him to the finish line. Anybody who's ever been a parent watching their son or daughter play professional golf or any other sport.
And I competed against Jimmy Blair in college. He went to BYU. I was at the University of Oregon, and Jimmy Blair played a lot like his son. He was tough. He was a good driver, good putter, and he was a winner.
Honorable mention All-American at BYU in 1974 and 1976. Mrs. Kisner to the right, Mrs. Snedeker to the left. Big putt here for Kevin to get within 1.
Pretty easy up the hill. Not much in it.
boy.
Wow, what a
Didn't
miss.
expect that. Yeah, 16.
While that was happening, this was happening over at the 16th tee.
Wasn't
Not
a
sure.
breath of wind, Mark. That started right and went further right.
I'm not sure what good, Jerry, the driver was ever going to do him there, especially given the condition of his nerves right now. As you have well documented to us, that is a bad tee shot.
Zach Blair trying to clean up his par. Okay, 3 holes to play. A couple of guys atop the board with Fabian Gomez, Snedeker, and Zach walking off that 15th green.
Okay, now live with Gomez, and Jerry, it would appear he's going to get some relief there.
Yeah, relief that I don't know if you call it interference or intervention. Nonetheless, our TV compounds behind that green screen, I think his ball is very close to Frank's rental car. Nonetheless, free relief. And then from there, he has a very clear line to the hole and nothing impeding his line. He's going to have to land it well short from 187 and let it release back there. But there is a chance.
Well, it's been a shaky last hour, as you have been telling us, Jerry. And again, I'm not sure what at all he was going to do with a driver off that tee, but he did get relief. So now, at least a little better angle than he would have had.
Well, his 2 previous tee shots he was extra conservative on, and one of them he squeaked in the fairway at 14, 15 with an iron well back. He didn't hit the fairway, so the last really good tee shot he hit was with the driver on 12.
I truly believe that nerves can affect you as much mentally, Jerry, as they do physically.
Yeah, you get into almost a state of shock. The mind starts racing no matter what you tell yourself, how you try to breathe. Everything seems to be happening in fast motion. And when you get done and look back on it, you just wonder, how did I get myself in that state? Right now, he seems to be trying to collect himself here because this shot requires his full attention just in terms of judging how this ball reacts out of the rough.
Folks, see the W behind the green there, the palm trees? He is going to aim that one at the left-hand palm tree of the W. Just forget about the hole location. Get it somewhere on.
Oh, nice looking shot. Bobby.
Oh, this has a great line if it's not too much stick.
Yeah.
Dude.
That's a good one. That is a really good one. And just when Fabian Gomez needed it the most. "70 starts it took him to win his first PGA Tour event, but it was a big one down at the Southwind, TPC Southwind in Memphis, the FedEx St. Jude Classic.
Up at 18, the last of 3 PGA Tour victories for Ryan Palmer came right here in 2010. Let's see how he finishes this 2016 version. Okay. Ryan Palmer had it going the first couple days.
That's pretty consistent, though. Obviously, he likes the golf course. He's won here before. Good start to it here.
Back to 16 again.
And Kim should be next, Jerry.
Yeah, it's a very good tee shot here. Just 152 yards remaining. Light breeze a little from the left. Very light breeze.
2 behind. He needs to attack now.
He was listening. It's drifting a little right, though. Still good.
Chance for a 3. 16 or 17 feet. Thought maybe he came just a little bit steep. There is Brandt Snedeker back on the tee. He's got good vibes at 16, Kurt. He's 2 under the last 7 rounds on this hole.
Well, looks like he's going to play back, lay back just a little bit with 3-wood. Sometimes when he really wants to squeeze a 3-wood out there off the tee, he just knocks up a little tuft of grass with the wood, and then he just sets it on the ground.
Yeah, I think Kip's still there.
Waiting for a spectator, which came right out in the middle of the fairway there.
He's in the lap, too.
A couple of difficulties here always at 16. One is the fact that later in the day you're playing directly into the sun. That is the fairway bunker, the second of 2 fairway bunkers that's being raked. That would be Brandt's aim point. Wind not that big a factor right now, but what it is would be into him.
It's out of the left, maybe hurting just a little bit. Just somewhere in that fairway. Such a sharp dogleg from right to left. It's easy to drive it through here if you get it out too far to the right. I think this is going to be really good. Going to land on the left side. Take a kick left. Boy, that is really good.
Boy, just like he saw the Pro Tracer before he ever hit the shot, and then Pro Tracer showed us he did exactly what we wanted him to do. Aim it at the bunker, turn it left. And all of a sudden he has turned this into a birdie hole. Kevin Kisner will be next. He's hit 46 fairways this week, and he's got 2 more to play. Brian Gay with the record back in 2011 at 47. 265 to the bunker on the right.
It's also a 3-wood. This is also on a good line. That should be pretty much ideal as well.
Oh, that's got some scamper on it, too. It's going to go a long way for a 3-wood. Both of them in good position there. Up at the green now, Gomez.
Slightly uphill mark. Judging by their hand gestures, I think he and his caddy think it's going to fall right. At the very end. Wow, that was a good effort.
So he should be able to tap that one as we go back to Zach Blair on the tee.
Looks like 3-wood for him as well.
He's got it aimed more on the left-hand side, it looks like. He teed it up on the right-hand side of the tee. Got to be careful of this one. I don't know about that. That will sit down. He'll have tree trouble and rough trouble. 3-way tie for the lead in the final round of the Sony Open in Hawaii. Snedeker, Gomez, Blair, all at -18. Wu and Kim are chasing. Final round of the Sony Open is boiling up at Waialae. This was a moment ago. Siwoo Kim for a birdie at 16.
Turning a little left. Ooh, hobbled just a little bit. About a third of the way there.
Just did not hold its line. You're right, Jerry. That is one he could have used. He trails by 2. And Zach Blair pulled his tee shot into the left-hand rough. That can't be a particularly friendly spot, can it, Kurt?
No, the line is kind of thin.
It's okay. Not a terrible line. Yeah. Let's see, so let's call it 28, and then from this angle it's like 29. So, but it's 28 to the front edge, and it's 57 altogether.
Like a 6-iron, just set it and just
15. Let's plug and go underneath this one and over the other one.
no, it's not necessary.
Just got to run it.
Do you think 6-iron or 5-iron?
I think probably a 6-iron.
It's 120-yard shot.
Yeah, it's only 28 to the front. So.
It's like that one at Hilton Head on?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's got to keep it under the tree up above, and then the next one up about 40 yards in front of him, trying to run this up onto the right side. Debating 5 or 6-iron, how low he wants to hit this.
Either way, trying to judge how to carry a 6-iron 128 yards is not easy.
I think so, but it's more like a chip shot, wouldn't you say?
I think it's just a long runner.
Yeah, you can do that.
Got to get it over the rough, carry it.
That's what it is.
Carry it over the rough, which is about 40 yards of that, maybe 50, and then let it run the rest of the way.
But if you don't use enough loft here, Kurt, that thing can dive down. It's always hard to keep that ball up with a straight-faced club.
Went through the branches.
Sit down a little. Sit down. Sit down.
That was amazing. That ball could have crashed right into that tree and come straight down. So he's actually down short of that bunker and won't have the worst angle. Now Kisner.
136 to the hole. Pitching wedge. And a full one, so green light for him here.
He needs a 3. That's okay. No better than okay. Up to 17.
And Gomez is ready.
Breeze helping from the left, going with 7-iron. Siwoo Kim hit 6-iron, a little left of the hole. Looked like a good shot, but not as good as this one looks.
Oh, right down the throat, Jerry. Back to 16.
Second shot for Snedeker.
That's his 52-degree, a hard one, 131 hole.
Oh, what a shot by Brandt Snedeker. So the man who is currently in a 3-way tie for the lead, Brandt Snedeker, could be in the lead when we come back to Waialae. Back at the 16th, Zach Blair's third shot. He's in a 3-way tie. Little pitch and run, wants it to release on the green. Which it does. Will it get back there? Not quite. So I would call that mediocre.
Yeah, I've always said getting the ball back to these back hole locations here at Waialae is difficult, whether you're hitting a 7-iron or hitting a pitch, and all he's trying to do here is take some of the loft off. So you're going to see his hands pull through a little bit more, take the loft off the club. Threw that one up in the air just a little bit too much. Came down fairly soft.
So he will look at his green chart there of the 16th. In the meantime, Kevin Kisner, this would be a birdie putt to get him within 1 of the lead.
Have you seen anyone putt it from this angle? I'm a little confused on how much break there is, if there is any.
Well, I don't think there is much. The mountain is to his right, the ocean is to his left, so there may be a little tug right at the end to his left.
He's looking for some left to right break, and it wasn't there. Good stroke, misread.
Up to 18.
Where Matt Kuchar has a third shot. He's hoping it's his last shot.
This could go in. So Kuchar with a 62 yesterday. Just got stuck. Nothing happened today. He'll tap that in for his birdie 4. Shoot 69 today. Bad opening round for Cooch, but he rallied that second round. Looked like he was missing the cut. He was around for the weekend.
Zach Blair for par at 16.
Now, this has been the best part of his games, about just outside 6 feet.
Got it. Dead center. What a par.
And just a moment ago at 17, Siwoo Kim's birdie putt.
Turning right. Frankie finished strong yesterday.
Oh, it's got a chance, Jerry. Did it go in?
Oh, goodness.
Back to 16.
Brandt Snedeker for birdie.
Yeah, just 3 feet, right in the back of the hole.
He's got the lead. He has got the lead. Who would have thought? After the start Brandt had to today's round, very lethargic the opening 8 holes. There he is on top, and a short little walk over to the 17th.
So Snedeker 19 under. Gomez, after that excellent 7-iron, has this to tie.
Get in the hole!
And it goes.
A couple of birdies falling there. Brandt Snedeker at 16. Fabian matches him at 19 under par with a really good 2 at 17. Things are heating up here late on a Sunday at the Sony Open in Hawaii. Look at how bunched the top of that board is. Zach Blair just one back. Today's coverage is brought to you by PlayStation 4, the best place to play. And the Hawaiian Islands. Visit gohawaii.com/golf.
And things have certainly changed over this last hour and a half or so. Brandt Snedeker, after a sloppy start, looked like he was done and dusted. But birdies at 9, 10, 14, 16 momentarily put him on top. But the birdie up ahead by Gomez. So Snedeker once again finds himself in a tie. A little shout out to his old caddy, Scotty Val, who I know is waiting for his foot to heal. Stevie Underwood there doing an excellent job these last couple of weeks.
The way Snedeker's playing, Scotty Vail better get that foot healed quick. He's losing out on some cash.
Well, Kurt, there's been 15 birdies here so far today, 7 bogeys.
He's got 7 iron out. I have 189 to carry that bunker on the left, so if he wants to bring it in from that direction, he has to hit it at least 189, 194 to the hole.
Stay right.
Oh, just carries the bunker.
At the 18th now. There's Fabian Gomez, Pro Tracer, showing you the way.
Little drop down the center of the fairway from the tee, ends up right center at best if he doesn't go too far.
Oh, and he did. He just got into that fairway bunker, Jerry. That's a bad break.
Could not turn it enough right to left.
It's a hard driving hole. I know it's a short par 5, and you get it in the fairway, turns it into a par 4, but just fitting it into that little turn point is difficult.
Now back to the 194-yard par 3 17th.
Kevin Kisner going to go with one more. He has 6 iron out. When he's tried to play a cut today, he's been pulling them left.
He went long yesterday. That's disastrous. Very little green to work with. It's been 3 pars on 17 for Zach Blair.
He also has 6 iron, Frank. And for him, I think if he does take it over that bunker, he's got to hit it right on the button, that 189. And even with a little bit of help here, is max carry, I think, for him with that 6 iron. Although you can't underestimate some adrenaline either.
All right, a little bit out of it. Could have been worse. So Zach Blair is going to need a little chipping prowess. The trophy is completely up for grabs at the moment. Gomez on 18, Snedeker with a chance perhaps to take the lead at 17. Well, we're back. It is neck and neck right now. Kisner needs something special from the back bunker at 17.
It's in the back portion of that bunker too, which means he's a little on the downslope. A really tough shot here to land soft and get close.
He tried to flick that bottom hand as quick as he could. And he joins the list of people that have been in that back bunker that have not got it up and down, unless you can make that bunker shot. To 18.
Webb Simpson had it going early. Started with 3 straight birdies. Looked like he was going to make a charge, but wasn't to be today. So he finishes his Sony Open in Hawaii.
He started actually with 5 straight 3s, which is pretty darn impressive, but ran out of gas the rest of the day. Bogeyed the 6th. That kind of ended the spell.
And now Jason Duffner has an eagle try. So just imagine here as Fabian Gomez and Zach Blair and Brandt Snedeker come up here and Kevin Kisner to the 18th, having a putt for eagle, perhaps, like Jason just had. Lots of things can happen here at the par 5 18th. You could drive it in the bunker like Fabian and put yourself in a little bit of a pickle, or if you drive it straight, you have a really good chance to make some hay at the last. Now there's Kisner there at 17 out of the bunker.
So now Blair just over the back.
Kind of a weird little lie there. It's almost up against the primary cut of rough, but it's still kind of sitting down in that grainy fringe. He originally had out a sand wedge and was rehearsing a bellied sand wedge shot. Now we go into the fairway wood, Frank. So just trying to get something on top of that grass right off the face and get it rolling.
Some people will go with like just a putting grip, which would be like reverse overlap. You just got to have to practice how that springs off the face. Of course, the extra loft on a utility club just allows it to ride on top of that fringe for a little while.
Yeah, I think this is his 3-wood.
That is indeed the putting grip, reverse overlap. Yeah. Popped its way.
Oh my goodness.
Did everything bar go in. Just watch this come off the face. I mean, he gets it up in the air, bumbles away, but keeps going forward. So extra loft of the utility club, just enough to get it up in the air. So it doesn't get caught up too much in that fringe. With about 6 feet to go, he knew it had a chance. But good if Brandt Snedeker kept his eyes on that ball, would have just seen it turn left at the end, which might be a little giveaway for him.
Yeah, he was definitely watching it. I thought it was interesting. He said after the round yesterday he is not a scoreboard watcher. You kind of wonder if he knows he's tied for the lead right now, but you know he's thinking make right here.
Get in the hole!
I'm sure he's going to know walking up 18. He's tied with this man.
Fabian Gomez, I'm sorry, Frank, at 18. Just driving the bunker. Jerry, what's he going to do?
Just has to lay up, no choice. At 255 to the hole. That's going to be just fine, but unable to hit the fairway at 18 all week long.
Yeah, he's made 3 pars in the 3 previous rounds, so think about this literally playing as a par 4. He's giving shots back.
Now back at 17, Kisner. He's going to have a sour taste in his mouth at the end of the day. His second double of the day. First one came back at 8.
Now the third at 18 of Fabian Gomez. What does he have left here, Jerry?
101 yards. Slight breeze helping far enough back where he can spin it. Hole cut only 5 on. That is ideal to spin this. He hit so many beautiful short approach shots early in the round.
He talked about his change in pace. How does it look the last hole and a half here, Jerry?
He managed to calm down on that second shot on 16. Reload the second shot at 15 and 16 with the smooth swings. He calmed down the body motions. The body language is a lot calmer and slower.
It's tough to judge this back into the wind, too. Just a wedge, but
that was loud. High on the club face and right.
that was mishit.
Couldn't see where he's going.
Sun shining in your eyes.
All right, let's go back to the tee at 18. Big tee shot here for Brandt Snedeker, Kurt.
Huge tee shot. He's gone to the far right edge of the tee box to try to give himself as much angle as he can. The wind, what little there is pushing the ball a little bit from left to right, which makes this hard dogleg right to left tough to hold. Fairways are firm. We're going to try to take it right up over the palm trees down this left side of the tee.
Long and into the rough and down into the Bermuda. So another missed fairway by one of the leaders here at 18. You see the big dog leg there. The line Kurt was talking about, those two bunkers that are on the left side of the fairway, the right side of your screen. Now Zach Blair, Kurt.
Yeah, going with 3-wood because he can't carry those bunkers. Just trying to fit it into the corner of this dog leg.
Just one back. Now he's in the fairway.
Yeah. So Zach finds the fairway. Snedeker in the right rough. Fabian short of the green. Zach in the fairway. It's coming down to the last hole here at Wailea. Well, here's a list everybody in the field wants to be on. Lee Trevino won here in 1968. The great Jack Nicklaus did it 6 years later. How about Brent Crenshaw in 76? Hubert Green did it twice, back-to-back, 78 and 79.
Yeah, these guys are all great ball strikers. They know how to work the ball from left to right and right to left off the tee. How about Corey Pavin, one of the great shot makers in the history of the game.
Our own Lanny Watkins got it done here twice, as did Ernie Els, looking to the heavens. Vijay Singh held off Ernie the following year in 2005. Phenomenal list of past champions, and wouldn't Fabian Gomez love to join that group? He's tied for the lead with Brandt Snedeker, but his fourth is coming up, and he hasn't even reached the green yet, Jerry.
No, but didn't hesitate to grab the putter. I think with nerves being a consideration, that's understandable, but this is some hardy grass on the fringes, and I've seen a lot of putts bounce. It's going to be turning gently left.
Fabian Gomez coming up large in a big spot. Makes a birdie from short of the green. And he gets back to 20 under par. Putting a little bit more pressure on Brandt Snedeker now. And also Zach Blair, who's back in the fairway. What a birdie. After the errant tee shot, he had to lay up. He came up short with his third. Took out the putter, as Jerry said, without hesitating, and then did this.
Well, as Jerry said, he's putting out of that rough right into, the closely mown area right into the grain. And it's hard to get that putt there from that distance below that hole.
Look at the emotion.
Oh, man. What a great putt.
And now things have calmed down for Siwoo Kim. This didn't close well. He'll learn. He's only 20 years of age.
He's going to learn a great deal. That's one of the difficult things is you learn more when you get beat, when you struggle, than you do when you win. It's a hard way to learn out here.
Shakes the hand of Fabian Gomez there at 20 under par. Likely securing a victory here would mean almost securing a spot in Rio representing Argentina in the Olympic Games. A 62 on Sunday at Wailea. And speaking of the Olympic Games in Rio, there is Fabian Gomez. Emiliano Grillo in great shape, 31st. Fabian there would climb way up if he is to get the victory here this week at the Sony Open in Hawaii. Again, pretty much guaranteeing a spot for Argentina in the Olympic Games. What a huge honor that would be for Fabian and Emiliano.
He got a bad break off the tee. I thought he hit a pretty good drive, but it just ran through and popped into that fairway bunker.
Speaking of his good friend Emiliano Grillo, when he won at the Franz.com Open, Fabian was there with him. Both of them are from the same hometown in Argentina. They still live there. They're very, very close. And now Fabian is on the cusp of perhaps picking up his second ever PGA Tour victory.
And Brandt Snedeker now knows what he needs to do. He needs to somehow get this ball out of this rough, get it on the ground, get it running as far up as he can. And this man knows what he needs to do. He needs an eagle to tie.
Well, he's got 270 to the front, 275 to the hole, 3-wood. He can get it there. It's going to need to tumble a little bit to do it.
Oh my gosh, that is so good. Get a good kick.
At the right center of the green.
He said that was so good, Kurt. Look at this.
Get up there.
Oh, my.
Yeah, listen to him. How about that? He's got an eagle try from that distance to get to 20 under to match Fabian Gomez. What a shot by Zach Blair. And now it's Snedeker's turn, Kurt.
He's got 214 to the front. The problem is the lie. The ball's a little above his feet, and it's sitting on a little bit of a downhill here. So with a long iron, it's really hard to dig this thing out. The good news is you've got that opening. He's got the angle. He can run it really hard and try to run it up onto the green. I don't think he can get it out of this lie and fly it anywhere near the front.
And also only needs birdie, not eagle, to force a playoff.
Need to run a long way if it's going to get to the front edge.
It's on a real good line, and he's got a nice angle there for the pitch. That's doable.
All right, so as you look at Andy Martinez and Zach Blair, take a listen to what we just saw.
Oh my gosh, that is so good. Get a good kick. Yes. Oh my gosh.
So he loved it. He said, oh my gosh, I hit it so good.
Yes.
Give me a good kick. He got all of it.
What a shot.
What a great shot, setting up a dramatic eagle try for Zach Blair.
Well, as Zach said earlier in the day, it's all about the opportunity. Forget the little putt he missed for birdie yesterday right here at 18. It's about the opportunity. He's got a really high golf IQ. He understands how to play golf. And you can see that he plays with joy. He plays with passion. As evidenced by that 3-wood he hit right there. He hit it and he said, oh my gosh, that is so good.
If he goes on to win, if he makes that putt, forces a playoff and goes on to win, think about it, Zach would become the 7th first-time winner in 9 events so far in the 2015-2016 PGA Tour season. It has not been Kevin Kisner's day. I thought with all that experience that perhaps Kevin might play better, but think about what's on the line for a guy like Zach. Brandt's already in the Masters. Brandt has already won 7 times in his career. Zach Blair has a chance to completely alter his life with 500 FedEx Cup points, also fully exempt all the way through the 17-18 PGA Tour season. He would go to Augusta for the very first time. He would be playing in Ponte Vedra Beach at the Players, trying to win that crystal. He would also get into the PGA Championship at Baltusrol, which begins in late July, and then he would get a trip to Kapalua and the Hyundai Tournament of Champions. He knows exactly what's at stake. He knows exactly what's on the line, and there he is hitting a fabulous shot, giving himself an opportunity to perhaps win this golf tournament.
And what it does too, it validates your belief in yourself. It validates all the hard work that you've put into your game, and it does put you in a different category. You're a PGA Tour winner, and no one can ever take that away from you.
Now, we'll say this. We've seen a lot of hole-outs this week here at Wildlife Country Club. If Brandt happens to make this and hole out, he would win the tournament.
Well, he had a decision to make on where to land this ball. Do you land it just short and then try to tumble it up there, or do you try to hit a spinner, land it on the green, and then check it up and hope it rolls up to the hole on the upslope? Great lie. Tremendous.
Nice touch there, Kurt, from Brandt. Underneath the hole as a birdie putt.
If you remember yesterday, Brandt hit a perfect tee shot, hooked his ball left of the green, and did not get that up and down.
Steve, we just heard something interesting going on. If we were to revisit 17, Zach Blair, when his tee shot just went off the bat, we saw the utility club. And remember the new rule. People think about anchoring purely as the putter. The reason why the rule was designed was with any shot, the grip cannot be considered part of a fulcrum point, the top of the grip. So they're actually reviewing whether or not that grip was actually positioned in his chest. You can just see it hidden behind the glove. In other words, if that is anchored, they will ask him at the end of the day.
But that's the confusion with this rule, Frank. If you look right there, is it against his body or is it just touching his shirt?
Correct.
That's the difficulty of this rule.
And that was always the concern, Peter, coming in with how the rule would be interpreted during the course of this year.
And just to be clear, an official would never say a word to him right now while he's in this moment. He has an eagle putt to get to 20 under par, which would tie Fabian Gomez.
Well, Zach Blair took a look from both sides of the hole. You got to just determine how hard you want to hit it. There's going to be a little right to left break in it.
Just skirts the right edge. And he's that close to perhaps getting into a playoff, depending on what the rules officials and Zach determine happened with his second shot at 17. Made a good run at it, hit an excellent drive, hit a fantastic second shot, but he's one shot short of that man, Fabian Gomez. So the stage is now set for Brandt Snedeker, the only man who can catch Fabian.
Peter, he left it in a great spot. Doesn't have to deal with the downhill. Uphill, not much break, right where you want it.
Inside of 5 feet this week, Brandt Snedeker, 50 of 50. This is less than 5 feet. Okay, there will be a playoff in this 51st Sony Open in Hawaii. Brandt Snedeker makes birdie at the last to match Fabian Gomez, who did it a little bit earlier. 20 under par is not good enough for a victory just yet. They will go back to the 18th tee and play this par 5 again.
Got the best caddy out there. Yeah, of course.
A money putt from Brandt Snedeker there with all of that on the line.
Well, you kind of thought that he was going to not only hit this shot close from short of the green, but also make that kind of a foregone conclusion with Snedeker and his short game ability.
Now the Snedekers, there you go. Dad's got extra golf to play. He's 2-0, by the way, Brandt is, in his career in PGA Tour playoffs. You have to figure he's the favorite over Fabian Gomez now. Fabian has never been in a playoff on the PGA Tour. Brandt got it done at the 2011 RBC Heritage, defeating Luke Donald. And then at Torrey Pines in 2012, defeating Kyle Stanley. They will go to the 18th. If that doesn't get it done, they'll play the 18th again. And then they'll go to the 10th and back to the 18th.
Channel.
In the long history of this Sony Open in Hawaii, there have been plenty of playoffs, lots of drama coming down the stretch. The last time Somebody needed extra holes. Ernie Els, all the way back in 2004. He did it the previous year against Aaron Baddeley. Back-to-back years in playoffs for Ernie Els. Brandt Snedeker and Fabian Gomez are getting things started, and they're going to go to the 18th tee, the par 5. Big advantage right now for Brandt Snedeker?
I think a big advantage for Snedeker. Really interesting when you look at Gomez, how well he played in the middle of the round. I think he made 6 or 7 birdies in a row. And then Jerry Foltz noticed on the 12th green, even though he made the putt for birdie, there was a change in his routine. And we saw him struggle on the back 9 a little bit. But that putt he made at 18, that's a hard putt. It's into the grain off the fringe and then cross grain going from right to left. And he buried it. I was very impressed with that finish.
Just looking at the scores over here to my right, 17 and 18, he went birdie to get into that playoff. So with the experience factor, you have to look at Brandt Snedeker, but perhaps the momentum factor, Fabian Gomez has gotten it back in gear.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. That's the one thing out here on the PGA Tour is you literally play with momentum swings. You can see a player like Gomez go out and make 5 or 6 birdies in a row and then struggle a little bit. And you really need to play through those valleys when you're struggling and maybe missing some putts and missing some fairways, and then you have to ride the highs. And who knows, will Gomez ride the high coming into this playoff?
Also interesting to know, we know how difficult it is to drive the ball in the fairway at 18. When they needed it most on the 72nd hole, Brandt drove it long and into the Bermuda rough to the right of the fairway. Fabian Gomez couldn't turn it over as well, right to left. He found the bunker.
Yeah, this is a really difficult hole. When the wind is out of the right, obviously it's very easy. You take a driver or a 3-wood and you sling it from right to left and you just get running down there. We saw some really long drives earlier in the week, but as both Jerry and Kurt have noted, the wind is off the left side, so you really have to watch that right side miss. Those bunkers are no fun. Gomez put it in that right side fairway bunker and had to lay up, and we saw Brandt put it through into the rough. And there's no bargain. The rough here is just horrible. It's just hard to judge when you're hitting out of there. So these two players are now on the 18th tee, back on the 72nd tee.
And that's the Vice President of Rules and Competition, Mark Russell.
Welcome back to 18th hole again. Forward. Charity.
And gentlemen, we're going to play 18 twice, and then we're going to play 10, 11, and 18. Fabian, you finish first, so you'll draw out of the hat first. Okay, you can open it up and see what you have. Two. Brandt, you're leading on. Play well, Jim.
So Brandt will have the honor. Fabian got to pick first. If you didn't hear Mark Russell say that, because he finished first. The question for you is, would you rather be teeing off first or second in this position?
Well, I think in every situation, I'd rather go first. I'd rather be able to put the ball in the fairway or put pressure on your opponent, because this is match play right here. This is not mental play anymore. This is match play.
Things.
You can dictate things, and don't forget, Snedeker hit driver the first time here just a few moments ago, and I was maybe thinking he might try to hit a 3-wood because it's so much easier to hook a lofted club.
All right, so Kurt Byram is down there, and here we go with the playoff, excuse me.
Wow, that is almost where he was in regulation.
Yeah, Kurt, he did the exact same thing with the exact same club. All right, Jerry Foltz will be following Fabian Gomez. Jerry, what is Fabian going to do now?
He's sticking with his strategy. He does not have the length, in his opinion, to fly those bunkers up the left, so he's sticking with the 3-wood, although his line where he's looking now is a little further left than in regulation. Of course, he hit it through the fairway, into the fairway bunker earlier. Hasn't hit this fairway yet this week. He got in front of that one a little bit. It is a little right of where it was in regulation.
Well, it's going to run through, just stop short of that bunker. So, 2 balls in the rough here off the tee. The first playoff hole.
Just depends on the lie in that deep, thick Bermuda rough as to who will have the advantage there.
Well, I think we saw with Snedeker, especially with his tee shot on the 72nd hole, if you can get a half-decent lie, you can chase something and get it pretty close to the green.
Well, if you believe in karma, if you're an Argentine fan, Emiliano Grillo got his first ever PGA Tour victory over Kevin Na at the Fries.com Open in a playoff with a birdie on the second playoff hole. Then in Mexico, Graham McDowell defeated Russell Knox and Jason Bone on the very first playoff hole with a birdie. So let's go back to the tee at 18 in this playoff and show you what the drives looked like thanks to Pro Tracer. Brandt in red, Fabian in the blue. Completely different approaches there. All right, while we have a second, let's go down to Kurt Byram.
All right, guys, I'm standing beside Fabian Gomez's drive. It just came up just short of this bunker. He's actually got a decent lie here. I think he can get a lot of club on this ball. He has about 265 yards to the front of the green, 270 to the hole. So it's going to be one of those shots where it comes out and tumbles up to the green. I don't know if he can get 3-wood on it, but definitely a hybrid.
Yeah, Kurt, I'm not sure I would even try a 3-wood out. That bunker in front of you obviously is not in play, but a higher lofted club there is going to probably be the smarter play. Possibly a hybrid, as you pointed out, but probably something like a 4-iron. Just try to trap it and run it.
You saw the huge dog leg there from right to left and causing these players problems. Peter, you've been in this situation before in your career? What's going through your mind as you are walking to your ball, trying to hit a second shot in a playoff?
As I said, this is match play. On the PGA Tour, we're always playing medal play. You always talk about just worry about your own game and just don't watch the scoreboard. In this situation, you do worry about the other guy's game because you have to play off what he does. It's all about the strategy right now, and I don't know. I think Gomez is going to be hitting first. Let's go back down to Kurt.
Yeah, Peter, he will be hitting first. Snedeker is only about 2 steps from where he was in regulation. He's a little further forward, but the same kind of a problem. He's got the ball above his feet. It's sitting down in that Bermuda, 217 yards to the front of to the hole. So I think he'd be pretty happy to do exactly what he did in regulation. Get it right around the front edge of the green, get it up and down for birdie, maybe make one for eagle from there.
And he also has the benefit of knowing what Fabian will be doing just before him. Look at that. Interesting that you would tie the lowest final round 62, but none of the previous 62s have gotten a win.
Yeah, that goes to show you sometimes when you're out of contention, you can just really fire at the flags and go low.
All right, Jerry, you're down there.
Yeah, I was right there next to Kurt when he wrapped up his assessment to you. It is a lie that he can get out with 3-wood, but he has to get steep on it. He has to gouge it out. 3-wood was a little surprise to me. Geez, that is good contact out of there. It's right, but that was good contact. I didn't think that was possible.
Yeah, what he did is he tried to hit directly down on top of it to get as much loft on the ball as possible, and that thing squirted a little right. He's in a good position. Watch how he's going to hit directly down, as much down into this ball as he can. He's going to take a divot right afterwards. That was well done.
So he comes up short of that bunker, but has a good angle at the flagstick. Now Brandt.
Didn't get a signal in the club, but it's probably a 5 or 6 iron just coming out low and running. Oh, he clipped the tree.
Rolls out a little bit into the fairway, but hitting that tree really took the starch off that distance. Now we'll see the third shots of Brandt and Fabian in a minute. We are back at Waialae Country Club, a sudden death playoff here between Brandt Snedeker and Fabian Gomez. Both men missed the fairway to the right here at 18. It's a par 5. Brandt then clipped the tree. He's got a lengthy third shot coming up. Fabian Gomez just short of the greenside bunker. advantage for either player, or does it not matter because it's a par 5 here?
I think because it's par 5, I'm curious to hear what both Kurt and Jerry have to say. Brandt obviously has the longer shot, so he'll be able to put a little spin on this one. Gomez is closer, just short of that bunker on the right, but he's in the rough, so it's going to be hard to spin the shot coming over the bunker and down green downhill, so his ball could scoot past the hole pretty quickly and pretty easily.
Well, Brandt has 55 yards to the front, 60 yards to the hole. So then again, Peter, the decision is, can you fly it? There's not much green to work with there in front. Do you fly it, fly it just on the front with some spin and get it close, or do you have to land it just on the fringe and let it tumble up?
I think he's going to fly this all the way there. Watch these hands. He goes through the ball so quickly and puts a lot of spin on this that I would think he'd fly it there. See how it just starts to turn to the left there?
Okay, take a closer look at those hands you were talking about.
Yeah, he decided to go in low here, but watch how he hits this so quickly with his right hand, right at the ball. Good set of the club into the backswing. Watch his release with his right hand. Boom, right there. It's just a mini golf swing. You don't have to do anything special there, but you do have to release your right hand.
All right, Jerry's down there with Fabian now.
It's not that bad from here. He doesn't have the ability to control it, like Peter said, from this rough, but it's a bit of an uphill lie. He can open it up a bit and land it, try and land it on the front edge, let it release. The thing to guard against here, and Brandt's ball almost did it, is that green runs away on the left side, and he's pitching essentially across it.
That was pretty good, actually.
Well, it's going to be a bit of a putting contest now. While we have a moment, let's go down to Steve Burkowski.
Thanks, Steve. Just spoke with Zach Blair moments ago. After his round was completed, he met with PGA Tour officials to discuss the possibility of an infraction with that second shot on 17. When Zach was first asked about it, he did not even know what they were talking about. When they explained it a little more in detail, he gave them his side of the story. It was a very quick conversation, no infraction whatsoever, no rule was broken. Zach Blair ultimately with his best ever finish on the PGA Tour.
Well, Steve, I have a feeling we're going to see more of this when we go through the year, because this is such an odd rule. That what happens when we get to the Open Championship and everybody's wearing jackets and waterproofs and the players are using counterbalance putters or they're using 3-woods off the fringe? Is everyone going to start calling in and saying, oh, he was anchoring his putter or his pitch shot on his belly? There's going to be a lot of this going on.
All right, so let's set the stage here now. Fabian Gomez and Brandt Snedeker both have birdie putts from opposite sides of the hole, and it looks like Fabian's going to go first.
He is away a little different line than before, but not that dissimilar, turning left gently the whole way.
Jerry, you can see that he's putting through the shadows, and that always puts a different feel on reading the break.
Fabian leaving it out on the right side. Taps in for his par. So now it's up to Brandt Snedeker. If he makes this putt, he's the winner.
This putt is a little bit uphill into the grain. I think you feel like it has to go right, Peter, but I think there might be a tendency to get it too far out there on the left. I don't think it breaks a ton.
I think you're right, Kurt. I think this is probably, what are you thinking, on the left lip?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, depending on how hard he hits it.
Through the shadows for the victory. Just ran out of steam and fell to the... These two gentlemen are going to go back to the 18th tee and play this par 5 at least one more time.
Stay right where you are.
Well, as Kurt was saying, this is back uphill, back into that green, and you just got to hit that. You can't imagine how slow that is, and that just came a couple of rolls short.
Oh, Brady couldn't believe it. Just didn't hit it quite hard enough. So they'll get back in those golf carts and go back to the tee and play this par 5 18th again. They birdied it to get into the playoff, and they both par it, so nothing happened. They're going to go back and play it again.
No blood.
So now what do you think if they go back and play this hole one more time? Different strategy off the tee for these guys now?
Well, I would go ahead and take that 3-wood and try to play it at least short of the turn point, because you can reach the green from short of that turn point. We've seen Snedeker in the 72nd hole and the first playoff hole drive it literally in the same spot. It's not a good spot. I know he made birdie on the 72nd hole, but I think we're going to see a change of strategy from both players coming up on the second
using driver
hole.
twice. So Fabian Gomez has not had a lot of luck on this hole. He did birdie it on the 72nd hole, but that's the only birdie he's had at 18 all week long, and he's played it 5 times.
Yeah, it's interesting when you look at the history through the week of how well a player has played a hole, and Gomez just doesn't really have a great success at 18. He only birdied it on the final. So we'll see. Obviously, Snedeker has the experience. He knows what he's doing. I really think that he's surprised he missed that putt on 18. I thought that he thought that was automatic.
Again, the players going back to 18, being driven by PGA Tour rules officials. And we've talked about how hard it is to hit the fairway at 18. It's really hard.
Well, I think the reason it's so difficult is because the players are trying to cheat the ball down the fairway. They're trying to hit a big high draw from right to left. But if you take out that curve and you just put the ball to the corner with a 3-wood, then I think it's going to play a lot easier. You're going to have the ball in the fairway, and you can now attack. One thing about Waialae, if you put the ball in the rough, you're now on defense. If you put it in the fairway, you're now on offense.
How about the fact that this is a tight golf course? You have to hit fairways to succeed, but maybe not, because those two guys are only about a 50-50 proposition.
And you think about Kevin Kisner, who hit, I think, about 80 to 85% of the fairways this week and is not here in the playoff.
Kurt, what's Brandt going to do this time?
Try to turn this driver over a little harder and get it a little further left.
Again with the driver.
No, he's leaning like it's out to the right.
Big high block to the right, Kurt.
Yeah, in the bunker. It's gonna roll back down to the bottom of that bunker on the right.
Yep, went all the way up to the hill, actually got out of it for a second and then rolled back down into it. So now Fabian Gomez knows what Brandt has just done. What is he about to do, Jerry Foltz?
Well, I can't tell if he pulled out the 3-wood. It looked a minute like a high ground about 80 yards in front of the tee.
It does look like that, Jerry. I think he is using something less than driver, which I like.
To keep it short of the place he hit it 2 times in a row.
Correct. Yes, this is a hybrid.
Breeze is freshening a bit. Same line with a little drop. This should stay in the fairway.
There you go.
Oh, that's a perfect position there for Fabian Gomez. So slight advantage for Fabian. Brandt Snedeker in the bunker. The sudden death playoff has reached the second playoff hole. That is the golf ball of Brandt Snedeker. Here's Kurt Byram.
Well, he's got 250 yards to the front, 255 to the hole. There's almost a little groove where they raked it behind the ball. I actually think he can get a lot of club on this. The lip is not that tall in front of him. He may give this a go, try to reach the green in 2. I think he'll try to get it as close as possible anyway.
When you say give it a go, can he get a hybrid on that, Kurt?
I think he can. I really do.
Yeah, his ball looks to be a little bit on the upslope, too. So a bit of a strategy change here on the second playoff hole for Fabian Gomez after watching Snedeker drive it into the fairway bunker. He clubbed back to a hybrid and hit a perfect tee shot.
Maybe he finally listened to you. You thought after.
Do you think he had an IFB on, or he was listening to the show?
So Brandt now surveying things.
And you can see the players are playing right back into the sun. So hard to judge the second shot.
Yeah. Kurt, how much will Brandt be thinking about where Fabian hit his drive to decide what he wants to do here out of the bunker?
Well, I think he's already made that decision. I think he's going to go ahead and lay it up, probably try to get it to a yardage where he can really spin that third shot with a sand wedge. Not going to take any chances here with this second shot from the bunker.
So Brandt safely lays up well back here at the par 5. So now the table turns. Now you've seen Brandt Snedeker lay up, Jerry Foltz. What does Fabian Gomez do here? Excuse me, before we get to that, let's look at this bunker shot again.
The strategy goes back and forth. This is just a safe play, probably a 6 or a 7 iron, taking that lip out of play, just put it back in the fairway, give himself that short wedge shot for his third.
All right, so what would you do, Peter, if you're Fabian Gomez in this position right here, knowing exactly what Brandt Snedeker's done? You've got to just be aggressive and play.
That's what I would do. I would put this on the right in the middle of the green, take enough club to probably land it about 5 yards short and let it just run on in. He's got a perfect lie, perfect angle.
That was a 3-iron, 235, exactly where you were coaching him, right center, maybe a little right edge.
Needs to run out.
That is well done. Very smart play.
Just about hole high on the green. That's an eagle putt. Coming up for $1 million. No, that's his good friend who's out there watching. It's Fabian Gomez.
Yeah, take a look here. Look at that good turnaround to still head. That's the one thing I want everyone to watch is watch the head position all the way down to impact. His head hasn't moved. Good release with his chest and with his arms all the way through. I'm impressed with his golf swing. I'm impressed with the way that he's really come back after a couple of bad holes in the middle of this back nine.
All right, so the par 5 18th, lots of things have happened over the years, and you were actually there when this happened in 1983 from Masao Aoki.
I was in the group that had just finished playing with Jack Renner, who had a one-shot lead over Aoki, and that happened. He holed a wedge shot from the left rough for an eagle to win.
Wow. Craziness. We've seen eagles here. We've seen birdies and pars. We've seen bogeys here. I mean, lots of things can happen at the 18th. Fabian Gomez, however, is in perfect position after two very, very good shots. Brandt Snedeker, however, hit his drive on the second playoff hole in the bunker, so he had to lay up. He has a long third coming up.
But now the strategy goes right back to Brandt Snedeker. Snedeker, what is he going to do if he hits it up there close? Say he hits it in there a foot or two. Now, if you're Fabian Gomez, do you give that one a run, or do you just try to nestle it up? Because don't forget, the putt that Gomez has comes up over a little ridge and then starts turning back downhill, and it's pretty quick. But first things first, Snedeker is up to the plate. He's got to hit a shot.
That's the chess game that essentially is match play in this situation.
Yeah, we could be, Kurt, we could be watching match play championship right here.
We could, but Snedeker knows exactly what he has to do here. He has to assume at least a two-putt from Fabian Gomez. So 82 yards to the front, 87 yards to the hole. With this lob wedge, Peter, I think he's far enough back. He can hit that spinner, try to land it just on the front, one hop it up there close.
Okay, Scott's above the hole. But that putt won't matter if Fabian Gomez makes his eagle putt. As he walks to the 18th green, he knows the tournament's right in front of him.
And don't forget, to make birdie on the 72nd hole, he made a putt from a little bit shorter than where he is now, off the fringe.
2015, Fabian Gomez won his first ever PGA Tour event in Memphis at the FedEx St. Jude Classic. Only 3 other Argentine players have ever won multiple times on the PGA Tour: Roberto Di Vicenzo, Jose Caceres, and Angel Cabrera. Imagine what's going through the mind of Fabian right now. Peter, you were talking about that putt.
This putt was just off the front fringe, and again, this comes up a hill about right there, and it turns downhill and goes left down green, and he buried it. That was impressive. So again, this putt, this is no automatic 2-putt. This is Jerry, this has got some speed on it when it gets halfway there.
Well, yeah, when it gets especially past the holes where most of the slope is, and his first putt in regulation from a little left of here as he's facing the hole, turned quite a bit, read it perfectly. The one in the playoff never turned as he expected, so there could be an element of doubt. But I think more than anything, he's focusing on the speed to make sure that he doesn't leave himself any work remaining.
The shadows bothersome at all down there, Jerry? Just for the win.
What a great putt.
Well, he did exactly what Jerry said. Had the control of the speed and he'll be able to tap that in. So
yep.
Fabian Gomez makes birdie, putting all the pressure now on Brandt Snedeker, who must make this putt to extend this sudden death playoff.
And Kurt, don't you think this is exactly the kind of situation that Brandt Snedeker loves to be in? He loves the pressure when he has to make a putt because he believes in his short game.
This is why those guys work all those hours to perfect their game in all the areas that they need to win out here. And of course, this guy's been one of the best putters on the PGA Tour the last 10 years, so I know he expects to make it.
This putt's downhill, turning just a little bit from left to right.
To force a third playoff hole. And with that miss, that man, Fabian Gomez, is the winner at Waialae. In the second playoff hole, Fabian Gomez is now a 2-time winner on the PGA Tour. He will celebrate here in Hawaii with his family.
A gutty performance by Gomez. Congratulations to him and his entire team.
The emotions pouring out. What a scene there on the 18th green, Fabian Gomez. As we send you down to Kurt Bottom now.
All right, thanks, Ted. Brandt, you really fought hard today. Those last 10 holes you played in 5 under par to get into this playoff. You must be proud of the way you played.
Yeah, I am. I'm honestly disappointed. You know, I had some good looks coming down the stretch, and uncharacteristically, I hit some pretty weak putts. You know, I don't like missing putts short, and did that quite a few times coming down the stretch. I just never felt comfortable with the speed of the greens all week, and you know, I fought hard. I gave myself a chance, but you know, all in all, you got to figure out a way to get it done. I didn't do it.
You had a great week. Good luck the rest of the year.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Kurt, thank you. The updated FedEx Cup point standings. Kevin Kisner's lead actually extends to 154 points, but now look at Fabian Gomez. He is in the top 5 thanks to the victory here at the Sony Open in Hawaii. Let's go down to Jerry.
And a bit of an emotional victory for Fabian Gomez. How much were the nerves a factor today? And Alex, or Jose Ucadis for Emiliano Grillo is going to help us out.
¿Qué tanto fueron los nervios que sentiste hoy durante la vuelta?
La verdad que sí, un poco a lo último. El último hoyo venía jugando un poquito
nervios, no lo podía encontrar el swing cuando hice dos bogies seguidos. Después ya me tranquilicé un poquito y hice dos verdes a lo último.
Okay, he said he felt pretty good during the run, but then 2 bogeys on, I think it was 14 and 15, sort of kept, lost his momentum and sort of felt a little nerve for the end. But then, that birdie putt on 17 gave him the confidence to end it up.
How proud are you of overcoming those nerves and doing what you did on 17 and 18?
¿Qué tan orgulloso estás de sobrepasar esos nervios y terminar así el 17 y 18?
No, la verdad que muy contento y era un triunfo para Coco, para dedicarle al viejo de él que falleció hace poco. Entonces también por eso.
He said he's very proud of himself and his caddy walking next to him. His caddy's dad passed away very, soon, just a few weeks ago, and he's on his name.
¿Cómo se dice congratulations?
Felicitaciones.
Exactly. Congratulations. Good job.
Jerry, thank you. Congratulations to Fabian Gomez, the winner of the 51st Sony Open in Hawaii in exciting, dramatic fashion, winning it in the second playoff hole over Brandt Snedeker, who is trying to win for the 8th time in his PGA Tour career, but it wasn't to be. It's Argentines Day here in Hawaii. Coming up next, it's Golf Central here on Golf Channel. Be sure and join us Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern as we bring you round 1 coverage of the Career Builders Challenge as the PGA Tour moves to the mainland and the California desert. That is all for now from the Sony Open in Hawaii, where Fabian Gomez birdied 17 and 18 in regulation and then got the victory on the second playoff hole, his second PGA Tour victory. Congratulations to the Argentinian.